up, what up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach
Yeah. Where you at, man?
In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop until
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Got to get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
With the gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up, what up, what up? We are in the building. It is Merciless Monday. I'm taking no mercy on this Coach JB show with Big Smitty. It's the realest show on planet Earth. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Plus, we got some proud new sponsors starting right there with that ticker above my head, behind my back, on the top of the bar back. Skybox tickers, join them as well. You can get a promo code later on in the show. We'll drop it. But it's got customization features. It does it all for you guys that want a man cave. You need it in your man cave. You coaches out there, high school, JUCO, or college, you want this in your office. Talk about countdown clocks and whatever else. This does it all. Short, fat, skinny, tall. It's the coldest countdown clock on planet Earth. So we got a lot going on today. Big Matt McChesney joins us. We're going to talk about Colorado Baylor. I probably think we'll disagree. Shaun is going to join us. We're going to talk about the NFL quarterback play being at an all-time low, but what do I know? And then we're going to have, it is E-Dub Monday, and Super Bowl champ Eric Weddle joins us, along with another Super Bowl champ in Shaun King, plus Jeff Nadu with all things betting and picks. We got a loaded lineup today. Mondays are always loaded. We appreciate everybody pounding that like, subscribing, becoming a member if you're not one, and spreading the word that this is the realest show on planet Earth. We're going to dive into all things real here, and it's a loaded lineup, man. We got a loaded discussion, loaded topics, because we had a loaded weekend, and we're going to dive into it. But let's start this thing off with a banger. Football has become a play-for-pay sport. A lot of you say play for pay. A lot of you say pay for play. I say play for pay. Because when it happens at the college level, oh boy, watch out. As I stated on this show 4 years ago, when all this NIL and portal talk really heated up and ramped up, this was a bad idea. This format of NIL and this format of the portal was a bad idea. But what do I know? The NIL was supposed to be for guys to make some cash, selling their jerseys in the student stores, getting a car deal, a cell phone sponsor, or maybe some commercials, as Caleb Williams and Shedeur Sanders all have. But when it becomes pay for play, and now we shop to the highest bidder, guess what, people? We have a very watered-down, mediocre sport. As watered down as I've ever seen. This isn't parody. Stop. The locker room becomes contagious with disease. The disease is what we call jealous one's envy amongst a bunch of shitbirds. Shitbirds who all have been promised something at 4 different schools, who now all of a sudden don't want to hit anyone, tackle anyone, nor are they willing to stick their neck in there because they now make money. So why would I risk it, they ask. This was not very well thought out by the powers that be. And we have ruined college and now professional football forever. I'm afraid. I witnessed number 27 for Baylor do the most cowardly acts as a football player I've ever seen against Colorado this past Saturday. He avoided the ball carriers not once, not twice, but 3 times. This young man ran out of bounds as if he was carrying the football. No, he was on defense approaching the ball carrier and stepped out of bounds. I cannot wait to get the film and show you. I've never seen anything as cowardly or atrocious as a college football player in my entire life. Number 27, you're about to be exposed. He literally ran out of bounds as if he had the ball. But on defense, this is the shit I've been discussing for years. And now it's gone straight south. We either witnessed a 70-50 game over the weekend. Oh, by the way, the team that scored 70 was not the Power 5. It was James Madison. Or we witnessed a 14-9 game. Oh, by the way, that was Florida State, who was 0-3, versus a Cal Bear team who flew across the country 3,000 miles, who is now part of the ACC. Make it make sense. Or we witnessed a 50-15 game in Miami, South Florida, and now we got people thinking this is good football and is what is expected now. This is a sad state of affairs, ladies and gentlemen. I have to be honest. This is horrible football, and just no way to tell me different. You can't do it. It has now transitioned upwards to the NFL and will be forever lost, in my opinion. People, Michigan threw for 32 yards and beat USC. Anything else I need to say? James Madison had 700 yards on North Carolina. James Madison. Now we get to see 2 horrible Monday Night Football games played at the NFL level tonight at the same time because the NFL don't have enough money. They need to milk the customers for more money. And apparently Dak Prescott is not making enough money. They pay him $60 million to do what exactly? Oh, lose again? The Bears drafted a guy who has never played at this level, who paints his nails only to get rid of a guy who is now 3-0 in Pittsburgh when they could have drafted Joe Alt and still got Udunzi and been much better team. The Panthers drafted a rookie a year ago knowing damn well they didn't have a roster to support him, yet Andy Dalton threw for 350 and 3 tubs last night in their first win of the season in his first start. But what do I know? The game is over as we know it. But maybe, just maybe, we stop overthinking it and play the guys with experience and stop paying these guys without a return. Stop paying them without a return. But again, what do I know? Let's dive into this thing. Colorado takes out Baylor after a late Shedeur Sanders to LeJohntay Webster, I don't know his name, Hail Mary, sends it to overtime. And Travis Hunter forces a fumble that wins the game for Colorado. Sam Darnold and the Vikings dominate the Texans up in Minnesota, and Utah takes out Oklahoma State with Cam Rising starting at the helm, being replaced. And Utah, Eric Weddle joins us to talk about that in totality. Plus, you know, my Rams beat the Niners yesterday. Eric Weddle will talk about that. Tennessee takes out Oklahoma in Norman. And Michigan takes out USC at the Big House. The Chiefs win last night against the Falcons in what I call some very interesting play calling for the Atlanta Falcons down the stretch in a very close game. Social media has lost their mind about a missed PI call. And Jalen Carter seen talking trash to Saints players on the sideline. Again, shitbirds are always going to be shitbirds. But what do I know? And then the Nick Sirianni seen trying to restrain himself alongside other coaches with Jalen Carter, and he does not want to listen to Sirianni and that weirdo-ass cat that they call the head coach. But before we begin on this loaded Monday, my co-host, Naptown legend, Far East Sider 317, LeBron Hairline, having Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, and Caitlin Clark jocking. Fox Sports, there we go. Big.
What's going on, y'all? We here live on a Monday. It was an exciting weekend of football.
high school. I went to a high school football game on Friday. Shout out to Santa Monica High. College on Saturday. NFL on Sunday.
Wait, you went to Santa Monica High game?
Of football.
You went to Santa Monica High school game?
My homie is the D-line coach over there, so I went out there to support him on Friday.
At Santa Monica High?
Yeah.
My boy, the head coach there, I think.
Who?
I got to see if it's still there.
Find out. Let me know.
Yeah. Who they play?
They played, dang, who they play? They blew them out. Hold on, let me see. I can't remember the name, but they blew them out. That was a blowout. It was like 42 to 6 at the first quarter. I can't remember their name.
Let me see.
I'm gonna figure it out though. But my boy Julian, who you met, who came to your crib,
they played like Point Hanimi or something.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, that's who it was. That's who it was.
Yeah,
that's who it was.
They might as well have been fucking schooled to death. That's about as good as
the team wasn't good. Yeah, the team we played.
Yeah,
Wainimi. Yep.
Yeah, they're
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know why they're playing Wainimi. But anyway, shout out Santa Monica for getting it done. Listen, man, we got a lot going on. A loaded lineup.
What's going on, chat?
We got this ticker by Skybox above us.
Yep.
Behind. It's supposed to have our graphics on there as well. I believe it'll come on there. I don't know when, but we'll see. Tomorrow we'll have it in the studio, Smitty. I got to get there early as normal. WPS, that's what we do. I'll get there early and hang it up. I'll bring some shit, try to hang it up, and then I got to link it to the Wi-Fi, and I'll do all the technical shit. You just get there, homie, and talk about fucking Caitlin Clark, all right?
I will.
So we'll get that. I'll get that going. Big weekend, though, Smitty. I don't know what you did over this weekend besides a lot of football, you said.
Football.
I'm going to take you to a Compton. I'm going to take you to a hood game. Is that cool?
That's perfect. It felt like home.
Because Santa Monica, not a hood game.
Not at all. I couldn't find a parking. It was weird, man. Like I drove around for a quarter looking for parking. Couldn't find no damn park. I don't know where it's at. It's weird.
Look,
kind of weird.
We gotta follow Bailey's script today. We'll ad lib a little bit. Matt and I might fight. I don't know. But listen,
okay, cool.
Here's my thing though. It's such a loaded discussion topics of 3 hours of talk. Well, we could probably do 6 hours today because like guys like King Moss, Cowboys still winning Super Bowl. Like there's a Cowboy discussion to be had. There's a Ravens discussion. There's a Rams discussion and Matthew Stafford, really how good he is. Is Purdy really good without any wideouts? We got to see it yesterday. We'll have that whole Cam Newton discussion about bus rider, bus driver. There's college football to be had. You know, from Nebraska choking it off against Illinois, Colorado Baylor discussion, as we already know, which is on the thumbnail with Big Matt. We got Eric Weddle's Utah Utes, who goes in and pretty much dominates Oklahoma State, but then almost gives up a lead. You got all this USC to the big house. Michigan runs for 32 yards and what? I mean, threw the ball for 32 yards and rushed the ball for almost 300 down USC's throat. Welcome to the Big Ten, USC.
West Coast, trying to tell y'all, it's different in the Midwest. It's different. We different. We built different.
Not Utah State anymore, I guess. There's so many. Deshaun Watson gets sacked 8 times by the Giants, and Danny Dimes last 2 weeks looks like.
Looks like what? Looks like what?
Looks like JB. What he said about him. Looks pretty
damn
good
what?
to me. Looks pretty damn good to me. Sam Darnold in Minnesota beat the brakes off the Texans.
Now he looks good. Now he looks good.
Sam Darnold looks like somebody said.
No, he looks. Now you're right.
Damn, somebody said something.
You're right about Darnold. You're right about Darnold.
But CJ Stroud and company will figure it out. I'm sure they'll figure it out. But Minnesota right now, who really thought they were going to be this good early on, 3-0 at the top of the division, play the Packers this weekend though.
Malik Willis looking good right now. Let's keep it calm with another storyline. Yeah. Played his old team and beat them.
Yeah. The Raiders get waxed by who I said would throw for 300 yards, and everyone called me crazy. And Andy Dalton. I said Andy Dalton would throw for 300 yards tomorrow, and everybody looked at me crazy. It's on record. It's out there. It's on my Sunday show. I said it on this show. Andy Dalton threw for 350 and 3 tubs and diced the Raiders like he would never had missed a start in 15 years. By the way, that takes him to 4-0 for the Raiders, with his former head coach now on the Raiders, Marvin Lewis, assisting Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce comes out and says, some players wanted to stand on business. Guess what? We're going to stand on business too, because some players made a business decision, Smitty, and tapped out. And AP said, we're going to make some business decisions too. Got to love it. That's the hood Compton in him. I can't wait to see who he cuts today. Well, we'll see that and check it out. Okay, Freddie Mac, what did Andy Dalton throw for, Bailey? I guess I exaggerated. What did he throw for? 340? I said 350. Freddie Mac's going crazy. I guess I exaggerated it. What did he throw for? 340? 35? 340? I don't know. He threw for over 330. I know that. He had 330 at one point, so I guess I'm exaggerating. I guess I'm closer to 350.
319. 319.
He had 330 at one point. How did he lose yards?
He didn't have 330 at one point. 319.
Oh, he had 333 at one point. He had 323 at one point. I don't know how he lost yards on passing.
JB, just admit that you was off a little bit. It's not a big of a deal.
No, I'm just telling you. He had 323 when I posted it on Twitter.
Oh, well, maybe it was maybe it came back. Maybe it was a PI or maybe holding.
Okay, I admit it wrong. He threw for 319.
Regardless, it don't matter.
He threw for 319.
The point is he threw for 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. That's the overall point.
Threw for 320. I was right again. I said 300 yards, though, by the way, Freddie Mac. I didn't say 350 on my prediction, but I thought he threw for 350. That's where I'm wrong. Well, who cares, Freddie Mac? Eat a dick, fucking bitch. So then I got, who else? We got a lot going on, Smitty. Deshaun Watson facing a lot of adversity. He's got a lot of mental issues going on, I believe, from another case pending. When are they going to cut him and put Jameis Winston in? That's all I want to know. When are they going to put that man in the game and just say it is what it is? Let's cut bait. It's over. It's over. This guy got sacked 8 times, Smitty, because he's sitting there holding his dick in his hand, literally and figuratively, and he couldn't get the ball out, understanding where he's going with the football. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? 8 sacks, Smitty. 8.
A lot of sacks. Field day.
Woo! Can't wait to dive into that. By the way,
did you drink a 5-hour energy this morning already?
Nah.
Man, it looked like you did, boy. You shaking and you ain't breathing. You going nonstop.
I'm not even on the rundown yet. I'm just giving you a little breakdown of what everything has happened over the weekend. P. Diddy and everybody deleting tweets from Pink to Usher to Kim K. We got all kind of drama on the realest show.
Usher said he got hacked.
So did Pink, Kim K. They all got hacked. It's crazy.
I went to Kim K Twitter. Her Twitter's still there.
Yeah, but did you see all the deleted tweets?
Oh, I didn't see all that.
I know you don't, because you only look for the shit that's positive, homie. Here's the thing about it that I gotta say real quick.
Say it.
The hackers just gonna delete your shit, not gonna retweet nothing, or they're not gonna go in there. I never heard of a hacker just deleting all the bad shit. Did he get a? So he got a good hacker?
Well, you gotta think they deleted all his tweets though. Like they didn't go in and delete just a few. Like he has no tweets. He has 0 tweets.
Ironic, but he got his page back and came out and said, "Oh, I'm good. I got hacked." So did Pink though. Pink shit's her shit's good. She got her account back, but all her tweets all her tweets just magically disappeared. I can't wait to dive. I can't wait to see
a lot going on with that case.
I see a lot of Epstein Island in this one. I see a guy who in a couple of weeks we're gonna be like, damn, R.I.P. P. Diddy. Like that's what I think. He's on suicide watch already. They say.
Well, that's normal. I think they do that every time.
But I can see what I'm saying. I can see something going down, like little something, little just boom, 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 little something. I'm not knocking on wood. I can give a fuck less. I saw him hit female. It is what it is. Do you, Lord? Do Lord's work. My homies in the lockdown. Clink clink. Do the Lord's work, homies. Let's dive into this show, Smitty. We got a lot going on.
Been 20 minutes. You ain't gave me the quote of the day. You ain't gave me no bet online. You ain't gave me nothing.
I'm on one. I'm excited to be with you.
Oh, I appreciate that, JB. I like the excitement. I like the energy.
No Diddy. Yeah. Because you don't bring it, so I'll bring it.
I bring energy every single show. Like it's insane.
Let's dive into it, man. Quote of the day brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. It is full steam. We're headed to week 4 NFL. We got college football week 4, week 5.
Season damn near over, ain't it? This crazy football, like it takes forever to get here, and then once it starts, it just be rolling. It's damn near over.
It slows down though. It slows down. NFL goes all the way to goddamn February, Smitty. So
it's almost October though, homie. This might be Halloween, homie.
Yeah, regular for me. I don't do Halloween. I tell these badass kids, don't come to my door. I put a sign right there. Don't come to my door, or you meet the glock, 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 not the gawk, gawk, gawk. All right, let's get quote of the day. Maybe you are searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots.
Ooh, you got something crazy right there. So you saying you searching at the surface level. You not digging deep enough or at the right location to find what you're searching for. You looking at the branches of the tree, the sticks that everybody can see. But in reality, you need to be diving deep into the roots, the foundation, the core essence of who you are. That right there, ding, 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 ding. Alert, 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 alert. Top 2 alert. Second best quote of all time.
What?
You took
What's
your time
the
with
first
that
one?
I'll let you guys know that when the time comes. But this is the second best quote you ever said in your life. This is the one. You
TikTok,
always bring the best shit after the weekend.
Make sure TikTok you hear. You're not just hearing me. You listening to me because you guys are younger on TikTok. We got 300 people over here on TikTok. Maybe you are searching among the branches for what only appears in the root. TikTok. All right. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Use the promo code Coach JB. Here we go. The only thing worse than a liar is a liar who thinks I'm dumb. Contrary to belief.
That's real. That's just real. You can't even say nothing. Ain't nothing to add to it. You said it right there.
That's like you.
The only thing worse.
You think you know what I'm saying? Like I'm supposed to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, I'm not that dumb, homie.
Like they think you can believe a lie. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's people in the chat right now who be lying every day.
They're lying right now. Poll question, Smitty. Let's dive into this show. Let's get heated. Let's get argumentative. Let's get debatable because us Matt will come in and I'm sure we're gonna. You two will tag team me, no Diddy, with no baby oil and no 700 dildos. So anyway, let's dive into this. Is Colorado a legit contender in the Big Ten?
Well, I'm gonna start with saying this. Got that AP on my wrist. Perfect timing, yeah. Yes, of course they are, JB. Why wouldn't they be? They're 3-1 right now. Had a one fluke loss. They went out there. They didn't put their best foot forward against Nebraska. Whatever. It happens sometimes. At the end of the day, these guys are 3-1, exactly where they want to be. Most of y'all did not have Colorado going out there and beating Baylor. Say what you want to say about Baylor. I understand it's not the same Baylor of old. It's not the RG3 Baylor, but that's still a respected program, and that's a respected victory that you get over them. I saw perseverance. I saw toughness. I saw grit. I saw togetherness. I saw a sense of we will not give up. To go down there on the final play and to make it happen, to make the extra point, to take it to overtime, to go into overtime, to continue that same momentum and to score just like that. And then right when it felt like you about to go to double overtime, you're the best player in the world, the guy who can do it all, Travis Hunter, flew down, boom, knocks the ball out, game over. It was a storybook ending to a game, and those moments and games like that are the ones that can really bring a team together even more. Yes, they are true contenders in the conference, and I think they just got better this past weekend. I believe that.
Yeah, I don't think they got better at all. I think they are who they are. That's just what I think. They are who they are. Baylor lost that game over Colorado winning the game. Sometimes, like you say, two things can be true. There's two things can be true. Baylor lost the game. Colorado did not win it. I've never seen worse defense by a defensive head coach in my entire life. Either as Eric Weddle, either has Shaun King, either has many other NFL guys I spoke to over the weekend. I've never seen worse defense played to end a game. And I got to be honest, Smitty, you got to answer this honestly, homie. Don't come on here faking the funk. Have you? I'm going to ask you straight out. Have you?
It was some bad defense.
No, it's not about bad defense, homie. It was absolutely an embarrassment and a fireable offense, in my opinion. And I like Dave Aranda, but I'm going to tell you, since he's been a head coach, their defense has been fucking garbage. And I'm going to be honest, you can't be a head coach and a defensive-minded guy and go back and be this bad on defense, especially at the end of a game after a timeout when you have time to sit here and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We line up at the goal line and we bat any balls down.
That's common sense, JB.
We don't bat them up, Smitty, because when we bat balls up, they get reflected, deflected, and touchdown. Look at this right here. Why are those two safeties in the fucking gallery? Why are
Let me ask you, as a coach, JB, do you think that they were coached to do that, or they were just out there just in no man's land, just not paying attention to where they're at?
Well, listen, if you're not coached to, then you're allowing it. Somewhere down the line, you're allowing it. Because I'm just telling you right now, there's no fucking way. Look at this guy backpedaling. He's almost out of bounds, looking like Dan Orlovsky. Look at how bad that is right there, Smitty. So let's let me coach it up for everybody out there that don't understand it. They're supposed to be at the front of the goal line. So when that ball comes right there, guess what? Easy bat down. Bloop. I mean, it's not even see that guy right there? If he was at the goal line, Smitty?
Yeah, it would have been easy.
Why are there two, not only two, there's three guys in the back of the end zone, and I'm trying to figure out why they put the corner one-on-one. This is supposed to be like a punt block scenario, Smitty. We double-team the motherfucker. We don't let him down there so easily, and then we got two guys over the top. This is unbelievable to end the game. I've never seen nothing like it. But listen, dog, that was the worst tackling game that I've ever seen. Shedeur Sanders should have been sacked 10 times. And they missed. Those are missed tackles, by the way. Not he got out of it. We're gonna have Matt on, so I'm gonna also defend Shedeur Sanders in some ways too, because I'm gonna keep it honest and real. I thought he performed a nutty gutty performance. I thought he was still there at the end. He didn't give up. He got hit a few times that I thought were good hits. That old school. You're supposed to get hit as a quarterback and throw the ball. He got hit a few times. But I just don't see any transformation in him. I don't see where you guys really think he's the best quarterback in the country. Not even close. I don't see him in the NFL. Not even close. And I see an offense that just is running a 7-on-7 package out there who sprinkles the run game in on occasion. And you guys see that play against a horrible defense and think that it's like they beat Alabama. They stormed the field, Smitty, after beating an unranked Baylor team.
It's because how the game went, JB. That has nothing to do with who they were playing. Like to win in that fashion at night, like the prime game. So come on now, that's a big time win for that program. And to beat a Baylor at the end of the day, I understand.
Look at that. Let me rewind a little bit.
But it's still Baylor. Like at some point, JB, you got to respect the win. Like it's like, all right.
You play football. Look at this though. Just think about, fathom this right here, Smitty. Like, why is there nobody at the goal line, homie?
It makes zero sense.
You play football, and why is this guy driving? Why is this 24 in drive phase in the back of the end zone? Why, Smitty? Why is he seriously? My bad. Hold on. Smitty, you hear me?
Keep going. Keep talking.
You hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Why is this motherfucker in drive phase downhill versus back pedal to bat the ball? I'm trying to figure out. You're at the goal line on a Hail Mary, homie. This isn't fucking – this guy's not running down to the goal line and you're trying to go meet him. This is a Hail Mary.
Your heel should be on that goal line. Like I mean, listen, I have no idea why he was doing that, if he was coached to do it, if he made him – regardless, even – just as a player with common sense, guard the goal line. Like that's where once the ball crosses it, it's a touchdown. Like, why are you in the back of the end zone? Like you about to run a 110. It makes zero sense. I'm with you, but at the end of the day, my head coach would always say this: control what you can control. If I'm the Colorado Bus, if I'm Deion Sanders, if I'm the wide out here, if I'm Shedeur, I can't control the mistakes or ineptitude that the other team does. Only thing I can do is make my plays and do what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's what they did. They made the plays. Two things can be true. It can be bad defense, but it also be a great offensive play in that moment. And again, that play didn't win the game. They still had to go to overtime and drive down the field and score again. So if Baylor wanted to make it up and still go, show that they're the better team, they had an overtime to do that. But they didn't do it. So at the end of the day, Colorado made more than enough plays to win the game, and that's the name of the game. All I'm saying is I'm mistakes on both sides of the ball. But we got to give them that respect. Because when they beat North Dakota State, well, North Dakota State ain't the same powers as they used to be. Then they beat Colorado State. Colorado State might be the worst team in the country. Then they beat Baylor. Well, Baylor makes some stupid ass plays, the worst defense I've ever seen. At some point, it's like, well, damn, are you gonna count any win they get? I mean, they're gonna be 7-5. Come on, JB. You got to give a little bit of credit where credit is due.
They 3-1.
That's good.
They were 3-1 last year too. Same time.
I understand that. So I'm saying right now, where we're at right now today, that's good.
Let's just be clear. Let's be clear. Y'all were talking the same stuff last year where they're 3-1. I said they're not a good team. This is not a good team this year either. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm telling you guys every single day that football is fucking watered down. But what do I know? You guys. They continue to win, and I said two things can be true to start the show that Smitty always says. Guess what? They are. They're 3-1, and we need to start making sure that we talk about Travis Hunter much more than Shedeur Sanders, because every single play that is a meaningful, impactful one, it's Travis Hunter that makes it, not Shedeur Sanders. We look at Shedeur Sanders for throwing that last ball, and now we're like, oh, shit, this guy threw a Hail Mary up there, and he's the greatest thing of all time. He threw for 330-something yards, and all the balls that he threw, and I would love to break it down. I'm waiting on trying to get the film from my buddy at DV Sports so we can show it Wednesday. Everything he threw was a deep ball. Everything was deep, post, cover 2, by the way, Mina. He beat a cover 2. There was no on-time throws. This guy takes a drop, and I told Smitty on a text, I said, watch his drop. He never hits it. Never hits his 5th step, 3rd step, hits his foot in the ground, puts it in the ground, climbs the pocket. He's always drifting. It's like 7-on-7. He takes the ball. He's always drifting. And he just throwing it up. He got several PI calls late, throwing it up. He just runs around back there. Listen, Travis Hunter needs to actually get more credit. But he plays video games. He's actually quiet on social media. Doesn't really talk too much. But he goes out there and makes fucking unbelievable play after play after play. He's hands down, in my opinion, if it's not mentioned, if he's not right now, because Colorado's 3-1. So right now, I know it's too early, but Heisman talk, he needs to be 1.
I agree.
Number 2 needs to be the running back at Boise.
Yeah.
If we don't start talking about these
Ashton
guys,
Genty, right? Ashton Genty.
If we don't start talking about these guys early, then what happens is let's just call it a quarterback award and just leave everybody else out of it, dog. Because there's not a quarterback in the country right now playing better than Travis Hunter or the running back at Boise. Now, the problem is down the line, will either team be bowl eligible or even in the mix of a playoff, which we know carries weight in Heisman voting. So there's where you fall off. And then they go to the next guy. They go to the next guy who's winning, Smitty, and they'll put these guys in there as Heisman candidates, and you'll get the Dart at Ole Miss.
Say numbers wise, I was gonna say Dart is balling numbers wise, but they ain't played nobody yet. You know,
that's what I'm saying. And either it's Colorado. See what I'm saying?
And then your boy from Tennessee. But the thing about Colorado, the difference is Colorado's not that great either, though. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like Ole Miss is an actual great team playing against nobody. Yeah. Colorado's an average team playing, so it's different. Yeah. It's different.
You're gonna have Cam Ward in the discussion. You're gonna have Nico in Tennessee. You're gonna have it's all quarterbacks though. That's gonna be the discussion. If you don't Big 12, sorry. If you don't get these guys mentioned early and often, I just think we're setting up these kids for failure. It's a bad. I just think it's literally a quarterback
award,
and we just need to start saying that because if Travis Hunter and Genty's not mentioned right now, which I don't see, it's a travesty. Because Colorado's 0-4 probably without Travis Hunter. Let's be honest, and Boise don't play Oregon like they did. They probably don't beat the teams that they beat. And I just don't – I just – you got to really start to evaluate the Heisman on a different level. I just think we're giving away the awards to an average fucking quarterback at the end of the day. Like, because at the end of the day, we go, oh, well, Michigan's undefeated. Let's put J.J. McCarthy in the conversation. He wasn't close to being no Heisman Trophy winner. You know what I'm saying? But towards the end of the year, it got close to that, you know, because they were undefeated. They were in the mix. Quinn Ewers would have been the front runner. Quinn Ewers gets hurt. Will Arch Manning now be in the mix? I'm telling you, that's what they do, dog. Travis Hunter, to me, is the best player in football.
I agree.
But my worry is he'll never get the notoriety because their team won't be in the mix late in the season. And now you're going to have a conversation where, well, Colorado's not good enough. And they'll use that excuse for the kid. I thought the Heisman was the best player award, period. We've changed it over the years, and now we act like it's the team and the player. Like, nah, man. We got to stop. We got to stop. I'm a quarterback, and I just don't agree with the quarterback. Make it a separate award or something. I don't know. But anyway, that is what it is. I don't believe Colorado's a legit contender in the Big 12. We'll break that down. I
see 4 more wins on their schedule. So, I mean, we'll see.
I don't see that. I don't see 4 more. We'll see, though. Let me ask you this. On the other side of the ball, Baylor, do you you think Dave Aranda's seat is a little hotter today after that? That's a game. Let me ask you. Let me tell you guys how coaching works real quick. And I know Smitty's probably heard these conversations by his old coaches and other people. When coaches are in private meetings and have certain discussions, they not only meet with their athletic directors and presidents about certain things. Within those parameters and discussions, there are certain topics that are non-negotiable. So there's a list of non-negotiables when you take a job. Okay.
Right.
There's on the field non-negotiables and off the field non-negotiables. Off the field non-negotiables could be a DUI for your staff, your assistants, or yourself. You're the head of this whole thing. So if your assistants do something, guess who it falls on? You. The R word in the dorm by a player. You could be a Title IX school, automatic expulsion, and the head coach could be fired. There's non-negotiables within your institution when you're hired. I'm just telling you. Then there are negotiables, okay? Last night on the field non-negotiable, or Saturday night on the field non-negotiable was that game, how they lost. The manner that they lost, the fashion that they lost is a non-negotiable. I'm just throwing that out there and breaking it down. I want to know if you think that Dave Aranda, since he cracked a non-negotiable on the field, should be on the hot seat, or do you think he already is and they all know it already?
I think he already is on the hot seat, and the seat just got even hotter. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, but since he's joined, I think he joined Baylor, officially got hired 2020, I want to say. So 2021, I think might have been his first full season, if I'm not mistaken. 2021 had a hell of a year. Baylor went, I want to say they went 12-2. And then from there, it's just been a downhill slump, 6-7, 3-9. And then I think right now they're 2-2 is their record this year. So like, I'm looking at the fact that they're going down. The record, they're not getting better, they're getting worse. And then when you couple that with the loss like this and bad coaching like this, or what looks like bad coaching, and like you say, either you're coaching or you're allowing it. There's no reason why players would even think to go in the back of the end zone, because if you're a really good coach, you would have coached that up so well at practice and gave them hell for making that mistake previously that they're conscious, their subconscious wouldn't even allow that to even happen. So you got to blame him, and I think they're looking at this like, man, all right, you can't even beat an average Colorado team. Then what should we expect the rest of the schedule? You won 3 games last year, so yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't know. It's I think his seat got hotter, but it was already hot.
Yeah, it's a bad way to lose, I tell you. It was a bad football weekend in my opinion. Just overall bad. I mean,
you said it every weekend now, which is a shame.
I said it before the season, dog, and now it's crazy.
Every weekend you say it.
Steve Kim came over and extends his hand when he walks into the Palooza, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Every day I'm on Whitlock, and I talk to these guys, and everyone's like." Now there are people out here like Brady Quinn and all these people are doing straight shows on YouTube about how bad quarterback play is, how bad football is. Now you see Kurt Warner tweeting it out and all this stuff. And Steve Kim goes, I know a fucking guy that's been saying this shit for 4 years. But what do I know? It's crazy to see these other bigger platform people saying it now after I've been saying it for 3 years. And now that this show grows, people are starting to see it out there. I got Ryan Leaf mad at me and Dan Orlevsky texting me and all this. It is what it is. At this point in life, I really don't give a fuck what you think about me. I'm just here to tell you the truth, or my truth, at least, which could be my opinion to you, and it'll be my truth to me. Smitty does the same thing. So you in the chat can take it or leave it. It really don't matter to me. Here's the bottom line, though. This is a bad product, bro. This isn't water. This isn't fucking parody no more. I'm just telling you. Like Matt talked about it last week, and I brought up 4 teams that won last week. It's no longer Appalachian State FCS school beating Michigan one time in 10 years, and now we call that an upset. That's not an upset. Weddle said it clearly on the show last week. It shouldn't happen. Toledo shouldn't beat Mississippi State like they did. Or beat them, period, but like they did. James Madison to go into fucking Chapel Hill and do what they did to a Power 5 school with Michael Jordan money is a fireable offense. And listen, people are going to say, oh, my God, you're hating on Mac Brown. Mac Brown's done more than you've ever done. Not my point. I love Mac Brown to death. Great coach. I think the time has passed. He understands it. There was a report that he came out and quit after the game, and then he came back and said, I'm not going to quit. 700 yards of offense by a James Madison team, who I believe lost their head coach to Indiana, did they not? Anyway, they don't miss a beat and beat you at home. North Carolina paid James Madison $500,000, Smitty, to get that ass ran through. And then you have a stadium who's emptied after 1.5 quarters. There's a video of cats just mass exodus out of Colorado Stadium. And I'm like, holy shit, this is not good football. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying there shouldn't be upsets, but upsets are go look it up by definition. This isn't upset no more. This is a normal everyday occurrence now. You have these teams beating these other teams on an every week, every day situation. Smitty's text me all the time. Max action. You got Bowling Green damn near beating Penn State. You got Bowling Green damn near beating A&M. You got Toledo running through Mississippi State. You got Marshall, NIU beating Notre Dame. Dog, to me, that is not parody. That is bad football. And I don't understand why you guys don't see it, because it's getting worse and worse. I've been saying it for a long time. This is getting worse and worse because now you have guys who just strictly chase the bag. They don't want to stick their nose in there. They don't want to really play for nobody but themselves. And now you're only going to have a few schools, Smitty, that is going to actually have a shot at winning year in and year out. And I'm just telling you, this is the worst football I've seen. I think people are starting to see it. They're buying in. They're starting to say it now. And all I can say is, but what the fuck do I know?
Do you think it's the worst football, or is it just the worst quarterback play that you've seen?
Both.
I know we couple everything underneath that, but like, I mean, I'm still seeing, defensive linemen perform at an extreme level. Like, I'm still seeing O linemen be nasty. I'm still seeing some of the best, most athletic receivers we've ever seen. I'm still seeing like a lot of great positions, but I know quarterback is the most important position, and they're the leader of the teams. So maybe that, if you have bad quarterback play, maybe that feels like the whole product is bad. But when you really like sit back and just watch the totality of the game, you think all aspects of football is just the worst you've ever seen, or is it quarterback play overshadowing everything?
Okay, it starts with the rules. The rules have allowed the worst football ever, because to go to your point, you mentioned D-line and O-line.
Still seeing TJ Watt be nasty. I'm seeing it because when I watch games, I watch the line. That's just my natural instinct to look at. So
we always have pass rushers are dime a dozen, Smitty. They've been in every generation of every football era forever. We've had unbelievable pass rushers forever. The reason it's more prominent now is because we're going to go back to the rules that the NCAA and the Non-Carrying Nationals of America have created. And what that does is you have a new offensive lineman into your institution every 30 days, every quarter, every semester. So there is no ideology, philosophy, or personal training that goes on with that front five group on a day-to-day basis consistently throughout the country, meaning that they're not at LSU for 4 years no more. We got a tackle leaving there, and they go to Colorado for a year. Then he leaves Colorado. He goes to Georgia for a year. So you got all these different voices in your head. You never get good or great at any particular trait, meaning kick step, run block, pass protection. It's all different. They're freaks of nature, but they're being misused, in my opinion. There's nothing worse than a waste of talent. And the coaches and the system has failed the talent. Number one, just throwing it out there. I blame the kids all the time. Smitty defends them. I also keep it real and tell you that the system has failed the talent, which are our kids. Our kids are being failed at an all-time high. I'm just throwing that out there. Our kids are being failed from the home front to the school front to the football field and off it by our supposedly coaches, mentors, teachers, and adult figureheads. We've failed our kids, our youth. I'm just telling you right now, because we allow it. We don't coach it anymore. Then on the other side, the administrative side, the presidents, the ADs, the principals, the law, the congressmen, the senators, the government have handcuffed us for being hard. So now we'll be canceled if we're hard. So now you see this whole thing, ball of wax, has snowball affected everything we see and do. So now we have these kids out here doing what they want to do instead of what they're told to do or asked to do. And now we have cancel culture coming out and saying, oh, well, someone in the chat, slavery's over, JB, pay the kids. Well, I never said don't pay the kids. and let's pump our brakes with that word, homie. Like, I think they're doing pretty damn well right now. And I think these kids are pretty much living the life that Smitty and I would have loved to have lived in college football. I don't feel sorry for one of these motherfuckers. So I don't know where the fuck you are with thinking that this is some sort of, oh, I feel sorry for these kids. They should be able to transfer every single day and get all this money and blah, blah, blah. Miss me, man. These kids have it better than we've ever had it. And now they're taking advantage of it in front of our very eyes. And now we're feeling sorry for some kids taking advantage of a system that's been created to only do what? Pay for play. And that's all I've been saying. This is a pay for play. This isn't about going out there. If you watch the Baylor game, Smitty, and number 27 in particular, it would have, I don't think anyone normally watches it because they don't see it from the coach's lens. I'm sitting there and I'm broken. I had to show Steve. He didn't even notice. And Steve was like, wow. And I said, this is because you pay him. And Steve goes, damn, you might be onto something. Steve, AP came out and said what? This player's made some business decisions yesterday. So he's going to have to make some. Smitty, number 27, made a business decision and ran out of bounds as the ball carrier was running at him. I wish we could fucking get that film, but I'll get it. And ran out of bounds as if he was the ball carrier, Smitty. I never seen nothing like it, dog. And this motherfucker ran out of bounds, homie, because it is a fucking business decision, Smitty. They don't want to harm the asset, the product. They can't get paid, Smitty, if they get hurt. We have opened up Pandora's box. We'll never get that paste out of back in the tube, like I say. And it's unfortunate and it's hard to watch. That's what I'm gonna say. I can say it's sad, I'm ashamed, all this shit, but it is hard to watch this particular era of football. And I've never seen it so bad. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've never seen it so bad. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But we'll see. And to answer your question in totality, it's the rules I stated that set up the kids to fail. It's bad quarterback play because we don't coach it and teach it anymore. 7-on-7 is a huge part of it, not fucking cover 2. And we are in a allow it, not coach it generation of talent to where you see new offensive linemen every single semester. You cannot build a cohesive unit up front, Smitty, against a bunch of mercenaries. And I'm going to call Smitty a mercenary. D linemen are mercenaries. That's what we taught them to be. Whether they were with us for 4 years or 1 year. D linemen, you're mercenaries because you're usually on an island mano-y-mano. and you're a mercenary, you're the pirate. You're supposed to go take that shit. And that is what a D lineman does. And especially a pass rusher. Well, guess what? We're seeing pass rushers disrupt the quarterbacks who are bad at an all-time high because we have 5 new linemen being taught 5 new philosophies every single semester. And now guess what it is? Pin my ears back, see ball, hit ball. Very easy to teach defense compared to offense out there, people. It's very easy to teach Smitty to beat my guard, who's a wobble body, out of shape fuck, who just transferred 4 times, to beat him one-on-one on an isolation 3 technique versus the guard. It's easy to teach that compared to 5-0 linemen in unison to slide together, to get hip to hit, hat to hat, drive the 3 technique to the linebacker level, ID the mic, quarterback, who's hot, who's not. D-line, hey, Max Crosby, beat that tackle one-on-fucking-one. You got no help, homie. He's got no help. The back's over here. The back's over here, Max Crosby. Hey, Myles Garrett, you beat that motherfucker. He's been to 4 schools. There's no continuity up front no more. This is a mercenary business. Go get them. Go see.
Also, to your point too, since quarterback play is bad right now, what's one thing the QBs are doing to actually text you about Shedeur? They're holding the ball longer too because they don't understand.
They don't know where they're
seem
going.
To understand the actual defense.
That's why I said watch the door.
Saying it all works together. Old linemen are not staying together long enough to work together well. You got D line being more athletic than they ever been before, and you got quarterbacks holding the ball longer. What's going to happen? You're going to have more sacks, more D linemen who seems to be more disruptive than ever before. The TJ Watts is getting 3 sacks a game, it feels like. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of all work together in a sense. So I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, baby, my bad. I know we're just ad-libbing this part because we got shout out to Smitty. That's why you see Shedeur take a drop, though, and just keep dropping. He never stops. He don't ever stop. So let's take hey, Alan, I'm glad you said that, Alan. We got 2,000 people in here on YouTube. Shout out 2,300. Shout out to everybody in here.
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit the like button right now. Don't wait till later. Hit it now.
Matt and I will probably fight because I'm sure we'll be on the opposite sides of this. But, you know, just so you know, disclaimer, I love Matt. It doesn't matter.
AP on my wrist. Perfect time, man. Yeah, that song kind of catchy the more you listen to it.
No, it's not.
It's kind of catchy.
We're going to dive in. Alan, I'm glad you said that. Alan came in here and said, Patrick Mahomes is overrated.
Alan might have a
little something I'm going to be honest. But what do I know, homie? Hey, but I'm going to be honest. His arm looks dead.
Let's talk. Save this note. Let's talk about this later for sure.
Let's take commercial. We'll be back in 3 minutes. TikTok, we'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who has spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
What's up, gentlemen?
Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, side of the road, LA, I assume that's not necessarily the safest place on earth. So we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA college football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the country to the other, Coach?
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy than to actual do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And, maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on.
Shit. Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, oh, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode. And I'm like, I can't watch this. And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to. You're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
We are back. We are back. I don't know if you guys can see JB or not. He is there. He's just invisible right now. JB, say something.
Yo.
So he's been there the whole time. Y'all just couldn't see him probably on your screen. But, man, load this show, man. Load this show. And I know this next segment and this next guest is going to make the show even that much better, that much grander. We've already started talking about Colorado football a little bit here in the first segment, really overall college football landscape, but now we're about to focus specifically on Colorado. But this next segment, before we bring in our guests, is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. When the energy is low, when it's the top of the week, it's Monday, you have the Sunday jitters, you're trying to find a way to get your day started off on the right foot. 5 Hour Energy Extra is the drink for you. Take this once a day, and your days will be better. You perform at an extremely high level, a level that you have never performed at all. So you're about to see JB take a drink right now, and you're going to see his energy in this next segment as we bring on our main man, Matt McChesney, to the show. Bring him on, Bailey, right now. Clap it up for Matt.
What the fuck?
Is Matt black? Now?
That's a bad joke, JB. That's a bad joke.
What do you guys call it? What's the beef with the black face or whatever? What does that mean? White girl paints their face and they call it blackface? I'm serious question. This is something new to me.
Nah, blackface is all that goes way back to the early films, TV shows, movies, even before your time. Like that just was something that you guys, that your people used to do to try to disrespect us and say what we look like. You know, they'll make their lips real big. They'll over-exaggerate the nose. They make their face literally black to make it seem like that's how we look like as black people. So this is a very disrespectful way to our culture. So that's all it is. Yeah, typical white people shit.
Yeah, white people.
We have some technical difficulties right there with Matt, but he's going to refresh, come right back, and we're going to talk about some Colorado. But in the meantime, in between time, JB, like you said, there's 1,000 things to discuss. So we can keep this thing rolling until he jumps back in. What say you?
You said what?
Don't you hate when you say something like
something? I think something's fucked up, man. Because you keep cutting out. You good? You got me?
I got you loud and clear. Loud and clear. I hear every word you're saying.
Yeah, we're about to break the internet.
What was that for?
Oh, all right. Now starting. Big Matt McChesney, 0 to 60 pod. Clap it up.
What's up?
You hear me?
You hear me?
I can hear you.
We're fucked up over here. I'm losing everybody. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's your end or my end. What's up, Matt? Happy Monday. It's Merciless Monday. We'll take no mercy. It's got to be fucking feeling great for you. 3-1 Colorado Buffs. Can't ask for more through 4 games. Besides 4-0, you can't ask for much more. I thought the perseverance of that team was outstanding. They outlasted Baylor, in my opinion. And they persevered. And I don't know if you can teach perseverance. Perseverance is actually going back against my takes earlier. There has to be some sort of homage paid to Deion Sanders for the culture that maybe now, well, this is the thing. There may be a culture that we did not know about on the outside that is happening on the inside. And that is what I'm here to say, because I'm an honest person and I'm a realist, and I'm giving you it from the coach's lens. A lot of people on Last Chance U had no fucking idea what our culture was. They only talk shit. So they don't know what's actually happening on the inside. For them to have perseverance and persevere towards the end of that game like they did shows me that there's something being instilled in the locker room. Now, there two things can be true, though. I don't think they're a good team. I don't think they've played good teams. I don't think they're a good team yet. I think something's being created there, though. And I think there is a perseverance that team played with that I was actually happy to see Deion Sanders get through to that. And I see that happening in front of our very eyes. Give us your take about from the game. I saw your post. You were there, obviously, with the Fan Bam. 3-1 is next best to 4-0. So, I mean, they're right there. I'm sure because of the hype in Deion Sanders, they probably cracked the top 25, wouldn't you think?
Nah, they won't get any votes this week, and they shouldn't. First of all, the game was incredible. It was incredible. I mean, people were leaving, and I was just looking at them in the stands like, guys, we saw this last year with CSU. Don't leave. Don't leave. Shador's, this is Jordan time. All right, and he's special. Shador's the #1 quarterback in this draft. Travis Hunter is the front runner for the Heisman. We were 1-11 2 years ago, losing games by 70 points. So to say that there's no culture or community is, I'm glad you admitted that this morning. That's awesome. The rest of the cronies in the comments and all these fucking haters out here, you just sound stupid at this point. You just sound
now, let me. I would admit that, but I don't admit #1 quarterback. I don't think he's even.
Okay, that's fine. But
yeah.
He is.
Let me ask you, Matt.
Hold on. Let me finish.
All right. This is a Colorado show now. Go ahead, Matt. You got it. Fuck. Like, not like you don't talk enough, motherfucker. It's not like you don't always talk anyway.
I was just trying to
asking a question, homie. I'm just
asking
you a question, Matt. I'm just asking you a question. I'm giving you
I was trying to give you an answer off the initial question. I apologize. I didn't go fast enough. You guys ask me questions, and I'll shut the fuck up.
All right, look, let me just say, I just want to go back and forth with you. That's all. So I'm trying to say, I agree that there's a culture, and you said he's the #1 quarterback. I don't agree with that, so we'll disagree there. But I want to ask you, since you coach these guys every day and know what you're looking at, and I talk to Smitty all the time. I don't care if you're a lineman. Matt coaches all positions. He knows football. If you've seen Matt on the board, he knows football, every part of it. Can you really sit here and tell me Shador Sanders is the #1 quarterback when you watch him in and out of a game and all he does is drift in the pocket? He never hits his 5th step. He never hits his 3rd step. He never throws it on time. He runs around, scrambles. All his balls last 333 yards were a lot of deep balls. I didn't see anything on time. And then he threw the Hail Mary shot, and everyone now is going to call him the #1 draft pick. And I'm like, man, we got to start paying more homage to Travis Hunter, dog. He's the greatest player in college football, period. And for God's sake, here's JB's take. I hope Colorado wins a lot of games because Travis Hunter should be the Heisman Trophy winner. But the problem is they're not going to be good enough for him to get the love that he deserves, and Shador will outshadow him. Travis Hunter is the reason you're 3-1, homie. Let's be real.
Okay.
Shador.
I don't even know where to go with this. I've been saying Shador's going to be the first pick in the draft for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And he's going to be the first quarterback off the board because he's the best player at that position. If he played for Georgia or Tennessee or one of these places surrounded by 5 stars, he wouldn't have to do the kind of shit he has to do in Boulder. He's Superman out there for a reason. As an ex-quarterback, I think you would respect it more than hate on it. So that's #1. #2, Travis is the best player in college football, and he should win the Heisman. And he will if they win 7 or 8 games, or when they win 7 or 8 games. They're the #3 rush defense in the country. after being 122nd last year. So that seems like a lot of improvement. They've held 3 straight opponents to under 350 yards total. In college football, that's pretty fucking good. One of those opponents is Nebraska in Lincoln. Did they struggle the other night? Yeah, the special teams were atrocious. The offensive line was getting their fucking ass kicked. But when you play that way and you still win, I know it was a Hail Mary miracle. It's a rainy day miracle, bro. This is the way college football goes. When you show that kind of perseverance, that your back's against the wall, and you still figure out a way to win the game, that shows me something about heart and character. And I was in the locker room afterwards, and to say there's no culture or community is fucking ridiculous. Why? Just because they got rappers up there fucking singing and walling out, there's no community and culture? That's ridiculous.
That is the culture. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is. And I'm fucking proud of it. And I think it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. So people forget that for a long time under Bill McCartney, we fucked people up. And then people forget for a long time from 2006, 7 to about, 2000 and whatever, right before they hired Deion, we were dog shit. We had one winning season where they won the Pac-12 South in 2016 with a bunch of NFL guys on their roster, guys who were still playing, under Coach McIntyre, who really did a good job, but then had back-to-back 5 and 7 seasons and got ran out of town. We were 1-11 2 years ago, and the most irrelevant college football program in the country, and now they're 3-1. They're on the verge of going to a massive game at UCF, and I know they're 11.5-point dogs. I think that number is a little high, but we'll talk about that as we get later in the week. What they showed me the other night, that Baylor team, this narrative that every time CU beats somebody, all of a sudden that team is now shitty, it makes people sound fucking stupid. It makes you sound, not you, it makes your fans, the comments, the people on the internet, all these fucking trolls that don't watch the games or don't know what they're looking at, who consistently like try and downplay everything that happens in a positive way. You just sound fucking dumb at this point, man. You sound stupid.
I mean, I agree with Smitty to start the show, Matt. You got to beat who's in fucking front of you.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't make the fucking schedule.
Control. Like, that's all you can do.
So is BYU good now that they beat ranked Kansas State 38-9, or because all I heard was BYU hasn't played anybody? They're 3-0, but now are they good now, or is Kansas State shitty? Like it's this narrative that every time you lose or every time you win, the other team sucks, and every time you lose, you're just terrible. That seems to be consistent with only CU.
Hey Matt, is it fair though? Is it fair to ask you though? They were 3-1 last year too. They were 4-2
last year. Before they hit the skids.
No. I'm just saying at one point they were 3-1 last year as well.
Yes, that's true. So they lost to Oregon.
Yeah, what's different to you right now? And is this a Coach Prime sexual cult? And when I say that, I mean when they lose a game, is all these fucking cult people going to leave like we saw last year? You didn't see the people on the sideline.
I doubt that. It's not really the same. The atmosphere wasn't. Yeah, they had some celebrities up there the other night, but it wasn't like it was at the beginning of last year. You know, those folks have kind of fallen back into into just being celebrities. But I will say this: look,
well, Diddy came out, and so that shit may be something.
Yeah, everybody's hiding. Maybe what? So look, here's the difference. They developed the guys they kept on the roster hardcore. Okay. And then they went out and they filled the transfer portal spots with guys that actually fit what they're trying to do. And hiring Coach Lodeholt was huge. I understand the offensive line didn't play that great, but they played good enough to fucking win in overtime. So and they've got a ton to work on. They ran the shit out of the ball, take away the sacks, and Shedeur almost had like 80 yards rushing and a touchdown. They had, it was the
the rushing though, right? That's the rushing.
Yeah. Can we talk about that, man, a little bit more? Like they're a much more balanced team, I think, offensively.
They're trying to support their skill players and their quarterback by hammering the ball. And look, I don't care if it goes for 1 yard, 3 yards, 12 yards. Right. I don't care. That's the way that everyone knows that's the way running the ball works. The longer you run it, the more success you have. Did they have some problems in the game? Yes. In the second half, did Livingston and the defense, that's really the main point of this. I know Shador's special. I know Wester's special and Jimmy Horner's special. I know Hunter's the fucking man and going to win the Heisman if they continue on this. And he should. It's the best player in college football, hands down. But their defense, okay, I know they gave up 31 points. But the second half defense in Boulder under Coach Livingston is elite. They only gave up 1 touchdown again. They caused a turnover at the end of the game to win. Their adjustments are crazy. They're top 3 against the run in the country. It's Ole Miss, Alabama, Colorado. They were ranked 122 last year against the run. Now they're everybody Nebraska couldn't even run the ball on them that hard. So it's like their two inside linebackers, Bentley and Green Hill, or Hill Green, whichever one, the law firm, those two are fucking monsters. So I think that they just get better off of all this. This is the kind of win that propels good football teams and good football players. And now you wake up this morning and you're an 11.5-point dog. Everyone's fucking throwing you under the bus saying it wasn't real. It's a miracle. You should have lost. And they should have, but they didn't. And you're going to go to UCF and get hammered. Blah, 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 blah. Like, if you needed any more motivation, I'm fucking pissed off about what I'm hearing this morning. I can only imagine how the team feels.
Hey, you're a ride or die, man. I give it to you. You're as you should. You're a fucking alum. Like you said years ago on this show, and I have always defended you. You're going to be there regardless of who the coach is, because that's who Matt McChesney is. That's who Matt McChesney is. He's been true through that process in the 4 years I've known Matt on this show as well. And being on his show, Matt doesn't care who the coach is. He will defend that person and the university because he's an alum. A lot of you may not understand that out there because you probably never done anything for anyone. Now, having said that, let me ask you, Matt, let's talk coaching real quick.
Yes, sir.
Did Baylor lose that game or did Colorado win it? I think Baylor lost it. That's my opinion. And here's my thing, Matt, and I love Dave Aranda. He's from 5 minutes away from here. I've never seen a defensive-minded head coach be this bad on defense in my life. And I take it back to NIL as I started the show off. I think the landscape and the rules have allowed this to happen where we got guys that are making business decisions in football games. And if you watch that game that Saturday night, number 27 for Baylor should be absolutely – he should get his scholarship pulled. He should actually – he looks – hey, Matt, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to send you the clips when I get them. He acted as if he was the ball carrier, Matt, and ran out of bounds. This motherfucker was the tackler on defense and going against the ball carrier and literally ran out of bounds 3 times. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? The missed tackles, not only on Shador, you can say perseverance, Shador got out of them, or just horrible tackling all night long from a Baylor team.
It was both.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But the end of the game, let's talk about it. Eric Weddle and I were like, what in the fuck? I've never seen safeties looking like Dan Orlovsky stepping out of the back of the end zone on a Hail Mary. Why aren't they in the middle of the front to bat the ball down at the goal line like everyone else is taught in football since youth football? Why are these motherfuckers back there with your student section? I'm trying to figure out. What in the fuck is the corner locked up one-on-one for? What are we doing? Hey, Matt, you're a D lineman and an O lineman. Where the fuck? A great call, because I would have turned it back as well. But I would have liked to turn it back to the right, but he was on the right hash, so we got to go left. He's throwing against his body, so he.
And that's a hell of a throw, though. I will say that.
Credit. I'm telling you, he deserves
credit as he getting hit, and like that's crazy.
Well, he's going left. He's going left. So for you to go left and have to turn your shoulders and get square, it's a tough throw. And listen, turn it back. Great protection, Matt. Matt and I know I like to turn it back on Hail Mary so we can get on the edge and get the QB comfortable and set his feet. But what the fuck are they doing on defense? I think they lost the game more than they won it. This game they missed a field goal. I just think it's horrible.
Bro, they missed a field goal at the end of the game. That opened the door for this to happen. And then this happened. But look, you have to have the guys to do this shit, though, too. Personally, I thought, look, did Baylor miss tackles? Yeah, they did. They're college kids. I mean, after playing NCAA, I realized that no one in the NCAA can tackle, other than Travis Hunter, of course. I thought Baylor played their balls off. I really did. I thought they played well on Smith. They took advantage of every mistake we made. They rushed the passer. They had 9 sacks. Like, everything was stacked against CU to lose. And they should have. Let's be real. They didn't play well. The special teams was terrible. Terrible. They got to fix that. They got to figure it out. The offensive line, they switched out the right tackle. They put in the backup guy on the other side. They tried to move people around. They were, I mean, the end of the game, the offensive line was getting beat like a fucking Cherokee drum. All right. And they know it. I saw Coach Lodehold afterwards, and he was like, that was rough, but I'm sure I'm glad we won. And that's the key. It's like they found a way to win, bro. And when you play that shitty and you still find a way to win, that says something about the character of your football team. They're never going to quit. They're never going to stop trying to press. They're never going to like just listen to the narrative that it's fake and that Dion can't coach and blah, blah, blah. All I saw was his assistants coaching their asses off. He was motivating the shit out of people. He was talking and coaching all night. I'm looking at this and I go, okay, look, there's just something about certain guys when you watch them. Basketball players, elite basketball players, elite baseball, Shohei, Nikola Jokic, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Like, there's just certain guys you watch and you go, fuck, man, this guy's special. He may not win every time other than MJ, of course, but he's special.
Yeah, I don't believe he's a good coach yet. I don't think he can coach yet, but I think he's
okay. That's fine. That's fine. He's doing a way better job than the fucking guys before him. Let me ask you, what prevents him? Go ahead. When you look at guys like Shedeur and Travis Hunter, they are in that echelon. They are fucking special. There's just
what prevents this team from having the same result as last year, 4-8?
It's not the same football team. Their defense is legit as fuck. Like, they didn't really play that great the other night. But again, you take 10 points off the board because of special teams, return and the kickoff. They only gave up a touchdown in the second half. They're averaging like 5 points in the second half and through 4 games. They're the first team in Boulder since 2016 when they won the South with guys like Chidera and Tedrick Thompson and Josh Tupou and pros all over the fuck. Jimmy Gilbert and shit with 11 sacks. That was a pro-lated team. It's the first team since then to only give up 350 yards, in 3 games in a row, which is pretty good for college football. So their defense is real. Their linebackers core is incredible. Their secondary, although McKinley didn't play that great the other night, and they had some fuck ups. The adjustments in the second level in the second half with Livingston are insane. So if the defense is going to play at a level that supports Shedeur and Travis and the offense, they're going to win football games. I just don't think it's the same team. So it has the potential. Of course, every team has the potential to hit the skids and suck. But last year, and I truly believe this, the year before they were 1-11, they lost big. Last year, they lost 6 of their 8 games by 1 score. That's losing small. Now they're winning small. And the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to hit one of these games where they just blow somebody's ass out, and then they're going to start winning big. And that's the way this works. So this progression that CU's on, if you can't see it, I think that, and I'm not talking specifically about you, Jay, I'm saying in general, if you can't see it, you got an agenda, dog. If you don't respect Shedeur's talent and Travis's talent and what Coach Prime has done there, turning a 1-11 hellhole that had no chance. And now you're talking about the fucking Heisman Trophy in Boulder again, and you're talking about the #1 pick in the draft, best quarterback off the board. Yeah, and I mean, again, take Shedeur and put him on Georgia. Take Shedeur and put him on Michigan. Everybody would go, oh my God, he's the first pick of the draft. Oh, that's immediately. But in Boulder, he's not. So
I don't know if that's true, though. I don't know if that's true. I just don't like
that's it's true. Ain't nobody. No one's making plays like Shedeur Sanders out there. Carson Bentley doing that shit. Dylan Gabriel doing that shit.
But you got to understand, Shedeur is running 7-on-7 street backyard
That's
football.
bullshit. They ran the ball fucking 35 times the other night, dog. That's
not. And I mentioned that in our group chat, and I was a crazy person. Bailey and JB came like I was crazy. I'm like, just run the ball. Y'all run the ball.
The leading rusher is Shedeur Sanders.
That's not true, dog. Fucking the Welch went for 79 yards and a tutty. He's not the leading rusher. That's not true.
But what I'm saying is when Shedeur Sanders scrambles, Matt, that is not design.
So when Shedeur Sanders extends the play and gets out of a sack and throws a fucking dart or gets a PI, that's bad.
JB's talking about attempts. I think Shedeur by attempted rushes, I think was leading.
Okay, so how many rushing attempts were there?
30
in totality,
bro. They ran the shit out of the ball. You can't tell me it's just 7-on-7 every play anymore. It's not fucking true. It's just not true. It's only a narrative. It's what everybody says to fit their narrative.
Did you guys have 40 carries? I think 12 by the QB, 40, I think, for 90 yards.
So what? And a bunch of sacks.
No, what I'm saying is, though, 12 of those were scrambles by the quarterback for big plays, chunk plays. And what I'm saying is,
no.
Listen. Results are results.
He ran once for a big gain and had a touchdown run on the goal line.
Listen, I don't even want to argue. I don't even want to like.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not true. They are running the football. Yeah. So to say they're not is just not true.
What I'm saying is though, I'm just talking about your take that he was somewhere else doing better. I see a guy who's dropping back and he never hits his drop. Never. Ever. I broke it down that game. I'm like, when is he going to hit his fifth step and throw the ball on time? That tells me it's backyard football.
Hey, Bailey,
I don't see that working at Georgia, Michigan, or somewhere like that. That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't have to do it at Georgia or Michigan.
That's my point.
That's the biggest point, though, I think, right there. Matt is saying he has to do that now because
he wouldn't have to do it at Georgia or Michigan, bro. He has to do this here. He has to extend plays.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah. My point. But I'm saying
Bailey, I don't know if Bailey can find the clip, but the fucking game, the CSU game, the second or third touchdown he threw, where it was one step, foot in the ground, rifle between three people for fucking 6. That looks like a timing throw to me.
Was it on cover? Was it against cover 2? Was it against cover 2?
What you mean the formation that's ruining football?
Well, I know he threw a 1 cover 2 beater, a banana ball to Travis Hunter for a big 45-yard gain. That was against cover 2.
I don't know if it was against cover 2 or not.
No, it was. I broke it down. I tweeted it out at Mina. I tweeted Mina. It was a cover 2 beater right here. This one right here.
I was talking about
not that one. Not that one. There was one that he split the 2 safeties and he threw it to Travis Hunter. That was true cover 2. And I'm like, I thought we couldn't throw those balls. But anyway, he threw a big one to Travis on that cover 2 beater. Baylor was in too high the whole night, by the way. So
you fucking better be.
I'm glad
you want to play single high against Shedeur. That's risky.
I'm glad they ran the fucking ball like they should have, that many times at least. Like I said, Matt, to fairness, I told you guys, if you just run the ball versus Nebraska, even if it's
again, I'm going to ask you a question again. What's it going to take?
Right.
What's it going to take for you to get behind Shedeur being what he is? I mean, I know it's impossible to say Travis isn't what he is. That's just ridiculous. But what's it going to take? Like, what's it going to take? I mean, from what I can understand, at the beginning of the season, they should be 1-3 right now and getting their ass kicked in the total sham. And that's not true. So,
Matt, it's not going to take nothing. It's not going to take nothing. I think he's a college quarterback who got a average to above average arm. I don't believe he throws the football on time when he's supposed to. And I think he is just a player that has the freedom to do whatever he wants out there. And I think he's going to thrive in that system, in that freedom. I don't see him transitioning to an NFL quarterback, though. I'm just going to say.
God, that is.
I'm just telling you, Matt. I mean, I've been pretty right with quarterbacks in my life. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not hating. Not hating. I'm just telling you my opinion. You have yours. I have mine. It's not a hate. I'm just telling you, he doesn't transition to NFL quarterback at all.
Well, he's going to be the first pick off the quarterback off the board when they win 8-9 games.
I don't believe that at all.
So who's a better pro prospect than Shedeur Sanders?
Oh, there's a few out there right now. If I'm the guy at Ole Miss, the guy at Tennessee, the guy at
Jackson Dart, Nico,
the guy at
Tennessee, 6'5", 6'6", with a big time. Have you seen Nico throw the ball versus Shedeur?
He's a freshman.
I know, but have you seen the difference?
Well,
that's
he's
an NFL
not
guy.
draft eligible, bro. So
I get it, but that's an NFL guy versus a guy that's throwing 7 on.
So Shedeur Sanders, and he's not fucking throwing at 7 on. Oh my god, dude, this narrative is just insane.
7 on 7, homie.
They
He's
fucking
back.
run
Yeah,
football.
this is Shedeur Sanders in the pocket, homie. He just drops back. He's sitting there
bro.
throwing. This is Shedeur
This
Sanders.
fucking narrative and agenda is so goddamn played out.
Matt, show me, Matt. Show me film. Break down film that he hits 3
I'd
steps.
love to show you film. I asked
No,
Bailey.
I want you to show me film that he hits his 3rd step and fucking the ball comes out. I want to see it because I ain't seen it yet.
Okay.
I ain't seen him hit the 5th step.
Well, then you're choosing not to
I ain't
see
seen
it.
him throw a curl route. I ain't seen him throw a dig cut. I ain't seen him throw a fucking corner route on time. Everything is drift. Throw it up. And he's the best.
I think it's. I think you're seeing what.
I think we have there's a cult, homie, and you guys are embedded in it. I get it. It's cool. But
there's a cult of Colorado haters too that are blind as fuck that don't see anything but what you want to see. Don't just sit here and tell me that all the homers are wrong. All the fucking haters sound like a bunch of fucking uneducated football idiots. So don't fucking sit here and tell me Shedeur Sanders isn't the fucking guy. Give me a break, dog. Fucking ridiculous.
And real quick, I'm gonna jump in real quick.
Over and over again. It's just I get on here and it's this guy can't play, this guy can't do this while they're doing it in front of you. They can't do it. So you missed me with this bullshit.
And then, like, to the point, I know earlier a few minutes ago, Matt was asking you, JB, like, what is it going to take? And tell me if I'm wrong, but the reason why I think he's asking that is a few weeks ago, for example, when they lost against Nebraska, you said this way that they're running their offense isn't going to work. They have to at least attempt to run the ball. Okay, they heard you, JB. They attempt to run the ball. You said this team doesn't seem to have a culture. It doesn't seem like Deion's putting together a real culture because of all the transfer portals and guys coming in. But then today, to your credit, you admit that they seem to have a culture. They seem to be fighting for something. So it's like, okay, the things that you once criticized them on, now they seem to be doing the things you said they should be doing.
No,
but you still have a problem with them.
I gave you 2 perspectives because I'm an honest dude. I'm giving you my opinion and 2 perspectives. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you know what? They're 3-1. It's all luck of the draw. They played just all shitty teams. Listen, there obviously is something being instilled because of the perseverance that you saw by that team at the end of the game.
Which I said last week when they blew out Colorado State, and you said, oh, and I was the crazy person. But now,
no, I didn't say culture. I said last week. I said that team was horrific.
True. Why'd you pick them then? Why'd you pick them then?
Who?
CSU, homie. And why'd you pick Baylor?
Because it was a rivalry game, and I just saw them get their ass beat and beat a fucking FCS school by 5 points. Why not?
You mean North Dakota State, the FCS school that beats D1 Power 5 programs every time they play them?
It's not the same team, by the way. Yeah. But
North Dakota State's now 3-1, right?
It's still FCS, man.
That isn't the throw either, Bailey. It's the other touchdown to Wester.
To who?
The touchdown to Wester where he threw the Elway to Mark Jackson throw back in the day. It's one step between 3 guys. It was fucking electric. Yeah. But that's the one off the top of my head that I can show you.
No, real quick. Don't forget, Matt, to your point, Doug, I don't want us to lose sight of this. It's like, how can you pick the opponent to win the game? Colorado wins, but now the opponent is just shitty. But you picked that shitty team to win. So that means you thought Colorado was even shittier.
Because that's my entire point.
Smitty, you don't know the context that Matt and I had a discussion, and Matt said, JB, personally, okay, we're not going to give too much information out, personal information. But Matt said, JB, boy to boy. Hey, no, I know, but I can give this away. Matt said, JB, Colorado State's bad, and I only saw him play. I only saw the score versus Texas. So, of course, I'm picking Colorado State to win, homie. What do you mean?
Because you're a hater.
Yeah, of course. What do you mean? It's not a fucking shocker. What do you mean? Why am I picking them to win?
You're going to pick UCF, and you're going to pick K-State, and you're going to pick
every week.
You're going to pick against them every week.
I picked them the other way.
Because you don't want them to be successful because you love the fact that when they struggle, you get to come on here and do that stupid fucking laugh and point the finger at them and be like, oh, see, it's all fake.
And you get to go on your show. Hey, Matt, you get to go on your show and say, fuck JB, he was wrong. So guess what? It win-win. Fuck you.
Yeah, but again, the point isn't to make you right or wrong. It's to evaluate what's actually happening in front of us in an unbiased perspective.
Shador's not a good quarterback. That's what I did. That's what I said.
Dude,
Matt,
I think it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard, saying Shador Sanders is not a good quarterback. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't give a fuck if you play quarterback or coached him or not.
I know.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
Fuck it.
Even if Shaun says it, that's dumb shit too. I don't give a fuck.
Bash me on your show later. Fuck it.
I don't. Why do I need to bash you? I can do it right now. That shit is fucking stupid.
Shador Sanders is fucking mid, as the kids will say. Matt, we gotta get out of here, Matt. We got a loaded lineup. We love you.
Dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Hey, keep killing your show, and I'll keep promoting it.
Oh, we will. Go Buffs, by the way, you fucking haters, all of you.
Shador's shitty, by the way.
Yeah, well.
All right. Get out of here. Bye. One legend to another. We got a loaded lineup today. Pound that like. Let's get Shaun King in here to give his rebuttal on what he just heard. Reporter live on the scene with Shaun King, former NFL quarterback who won a Super Bowl at quarterback. But what does he know? Let's ask Shaun what he thinks about Shador Sanders and what grade he would have got against Baylor. Go ahead, Shaun.
You're delusional, JB. Shador is super talented, man. What are you talking about?
JB was not expecting that right there. He thought he had a teammate on his side.
Smitty, he's trolling you. God damn, Smitty, are you that smart?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
You've never heard me say Shador is not.
No, he's not trolling me, JB. He's trolling your ass.
He's trolling you, Smitty. Guess what? Black, white.
No, he's not trolling. He said he's talented. He's talented.
So watch this. Here's what's crazy. And this is why I think Matt is delusional and JB is delusional.
Let's get it real.
JB's delusional because Shador is super talented. Matt's delusional because he's already written the book. All I'm saying is the book is still being written.
Right.
The kid is super talented, but listen, the season's early. We don't really know what this Colorado team is. We're finding out more about them every week. We don't really know exactly what Shador is. We're finding out more information every week. But the talent is there. The talent is there, JB.
Hey. Shaun and I are usually on the same page with quarterback. I'm glad we're going to disagree for once. Fuck it. Make this viral, Bailey. Where is he super talented at? I want you to give me your honest assessment on where he's super talented. His arm is mid.
Well,
he's not very accurate.
I don't want you to fill in the blanks, goddamn. It's a fill in the blank. Let me fill in the blanks.
All right. Where is he super talented?
First of all, he has elite toughness. Like he stays in the pocket.
True. I'll give you that.
As bad as offensive line has been, he still will stay in the pocket and attempt to make the throws. That's something that you can't teach.
I give you that.
So you know he's got that dog in him. I think it gets colored over because he tries to be such of a celebrity, which hopefully as he matures, he'll back down and back away from some of that stuff. But the kid's toughness is elite. I also think when given time, he's generally extremely accurate throwing the ball. Now, I agree with you. He does not have a great arm, but he's got a good enough arm to make most of the throws. But
can I equate him to somebody in the NFL you and I can do this in our brain. A lot of guys in the chat won't be able to. Maybe Smitty can too, because he played the game and understands the difference in rushing a right-hander and a left-hander. Shador Sanders to me is Tua.
No, he got a better arm than Tua.
I don't know. I think it's very similar. I watched the late ball. The late balls.
And JB, he's a much better athlete than Tua.
Similar to me. He's not a runner. He's an ad-lib runner.
He's a much better athlete than Tua.
He's an ad-lib scrambler though. He's not a runner.
Yeah, but Tua doesn't
have like Mahomes.
Athleticism.
Like Mahomes a little bit.
Yeah,
he's got Mahomes level athleticism. He's just not big as Mahomes.
Shaun, I watch his ball. I watch anything over 15 yards die, and I've been watching it closely, and I'm gonna get the film on it. The ball. We know, you and I know, big time arms. The ball gets to the 15-yard mark as it left the hand. The same trajectory. Motherfucker's still humming. His balls are dying. 15, 20 to 30, anything deeper. You saw the two-beater to Travis Hunter over the middle that was deep late that he caught. That's how bad Baylor is on defense. But anyway, he caught it. That ball fluttered. That ball was late.
You see that, Shaun? You see that?
I don't see him as the number one quarterback, Shaun. That is really the debate, though. Let's not talk about that's the argument that Matt and I is having. Matt is calling this dude like a generational talent. He's not, homie.
I said you and Matt are delusional, and I gave my reasons why.
Y'all are both on opposite extremes right now.
Both of
you say he ain't talented really. Matt say he the best. He's somewhere in that middle.
and here's where I just want Matt to be a little rational. Well, he don't gotta be rational. That's all matter. He could be as hyped up for him as he wants. I mean, one thing you can't argue with is they're polarizing. We're talking about them. All I'm saying is that's still playing itself out. Who the number one pick is going to be. There's some guys that are having good seasons that are draft eligible. We'll see how the season plays out.
Okay, but pause. You got to pause, though. You and I know what an NFL first-round guy should be and what he looks like. This guy's not him.
What?
Are we that bad at quarterback? Are we that bad at quarterback?
It depends on the draft year.
No. But are we that bad at quarterback to where we saying, oh, by default, this guy?
Well, you said that.
I'm not going to let you put that label on that kid. Shedeur can definitely play himself into the number one pick. He also can play himself out of the first round. That's what I'm saying. Like, that book is still being written. Like, I don't think there's enough information that we already know to make a honest, fair evaluation, yes or no. But
I agree
the
to that.
Kid is talented. To say the kid's not talented is ludicrous.
I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying he's not a first overall pick. Like, this ain't a guy we've never seen. We said this with Caleb Williams last year, man. Look at this guy. Like, this is what I'm saying. Quarterback play is at an all-time low. I've been on this tip for 4 years.
The book's still being written on Caleb, too, respectfully. I mean, it's been.
I get it.
Hey, JB.
But now what I said, Smitty, what I said, Smitty, is true right now.
Hey, JB, I'm going to change the narrative a little bit on that quarterback play is bad. I think QB coaching is as bad as it's ever been. And it's as soft as cotton candy. And you can't. And listen, iron sharpens iron.
No, you're right. And I say that. I used to have that on my wall.
And as long as they keep cottoning these kids and babying them and afraid to actually tell them the truth about what they are and who they currently need to try and become, then they're not going to improve.
But like you and Smitty love to say two things can be true, but it doesn't change the fact that the goddamn quarterback play is atrocious.
You're right.
It doesn't change the play. It doesn't change the play on the field, and it's fucking horrible. That's the worst I've ever seen. And we got guys that we're drafting with. Here, I want to transition. We got a lot for you real quick. I want to transition right away to the Bears and Caleb Williams since we're going to talk. Since Smitty grabbed it, and Smitty, you grabbed the topics off the thing because I'm just ad-libbing today.
I've been ad-libbing. I ain't looking at
Shaun, I got to ask you. You can't sit here and tell me that we're watching this quarterback play in Chicago and they wouldn't be a much better team with Justin Fields if they would have drafted Joe Alt in that first spot and then still went out and got Undunzi or whatever his name is, or even another person. Instead, they go get Caleb. They get a receiver. They don't improve the O-line whatsoever. The O-line is still atrocious. This guy's running around like his head cut off last night. Again, for 3 weeks in a row. He don't play preseason games. His feet aren't even wet yet, and we're expecting him to be so good. We're setting them up for failure as a system, A. I don't blame the player. I blame the setup and what Shaun just said, the coaching. And B, why do that and start all over every 3 years? And guess what? The guy they got rid of is fucking 3-0 in Pittsburgh.
So
what do I know?
I spent all season telling the Chicago fan base that they'd be better off keeping Justin Fields, trading the number one pick because of what they could bring back in return. By the way, did you see Darnell Mooney last night from the Falcons, number one?
Oh, yeah.
He was in Chicago, and they didn't want to give him a new deal, which he'd have made less than Keenan Allen, who they went out and signed in free agency to a bigger contract. So they had the pieces right there. What Caleb is finding out is why I wasn't as high on him as some people. I thought the learning curve for him was going to be very steep because he's learning for the first time in his life that there's a difference between being a great talent and being a great quarterback consistently. I said all along he struggles, in my opinion, to see the ball, to see the anticipate throws from the pocket, and that's what you're finding out. Because in college, he's a really good athlete. And a lot of times USC's will have better talent than the team they're playing. He's finding out, man, them NFL D linemen, you can't just run around back there. It don't work. So you can't just throw up balls and not have an intentional, understanding of where they're going, man. Them DBs is good. Them D linemen is as great as they've ever been. He's finding out Now, I think eventually down the line he'll be okay, but I knew the learning curve was going to be steep.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, it's so early. Like, for me, I think it's a little unfair to, like, go too hard to any of these rookies because, like, we just don't know yet. We're, like, to your point, it's been 3 games. And Justin Fields is undefeated, but he's on a much better team and foundation and structure. We've seen that Pittsburgh Steelers team in the last few years win a ton of games with nobody at quarterback. So, again, I was a guy who agreed with JB and you as well, Shaun, and say I think the Bears should stay with Justin Fields. So I'm not dissing Justin. I'm just saying let's not let the 3-0 versus 1-2 start be the dictator.
I didn't bring that up
See,
at all.
this is what it is, you know.
But what you said is oxymoronic.
Break down why.
Keep him with Chicago. I believe Chicago's 3-0 too, because they would have drafted Joe Alt. That's my point. That's the difference. It's not that he's on a better team. The offense is I would say the offense in Chicago has a much bigger upside than the Pittsburgh offense right now.
They're more talented than Pittsburgh.
Much fucking more talented. They already had Keenan Allen. They already had DJ Moore. They already got Swift in free agency. All they had to do was keep Justin Fields and get Joe Alt. This is a much better offense with a guy who can run by design, not run by ad lib in Caleb Williams. They're not 1+ in Caleb Williams and running power read and QB zone read. They're not running that shit with Caleb Williams. You can actually do that with Justin Fields. They would have been much more dynamic in Chicago with Justin Fields right now than they are with Caleb Williams. It wouldn't even be close. The Bears would be 3-0, and we'd be talking about them and the Minnesota Vikings as number 1 and 2 right now in the North.
Hey, to your point, to JB's point, and if it's any quarterback coaches or quarterbacks out there, that's the one thing about Caleb that I think he's going to have to get better at. He's a good enough athlete to be effective running the ball. I think he had like negative yards rushing yesterday. And in the NFL, sacks don't count against your rushing yards.
And I don't want to hear, Shaun, that he threw for 333 or whatever. I don't want to hear it.
That was garbage.
They were down. They only scored 16 points. Don't tell me 333 yards and you score 16 points. Okay? Don't get me started, crowd, about him throwing for 333 yards. The yards were fucking garbage time yards. Miss me with your stat, guys. Shaun, we got a loaded lineup.
Hey, before we leave the Bears, Roma Doomsday dad probably in Orlovsky's DMs this week.
Hey, Shaun.
Doing them wide open right now.
Shaun, Sam Darnold and the Vikings dominated your C.J. Stroud Texans. We love C.J. It seems like C.J. Stroud and the Texans were going to have a few hiccups early because of all the new additions with Diggs, and then you get Tankdale back, and you got Mechie now, and you got another receiver over there they added in. You got Woods. Mixon was hurt. I told you that Mixon getting hurt would cost them a little bit. It would hurt them yesterday on my pregame show. The Vikings look to be 3-0. Sam Darnold looking as good as any in the NFL right now, throwing the football. He leads the league in touchdown passes. What's your thoughts on Sam Darnold so far in the Minnesota Vikings, JJ and company, Aaron Jones and company, who had a good game? I think the defenses should be talked about in Minnesota a lot more than we are. But that's just me.
Scary good. I mean, you would have thought after the offseason they lost Danielle Hunter to the Texans. TJ Hawkinson's still out. They're going to get him back at some point. I mean, they're playing good ball. Hat tip to you on Sam Darnold. And I want to be really very, very, very loud. I never said anything about Sam Darnold except he has an awkward personality. I've always said in Carolina, the talent's there. He's just kind of awkward to me. But obviously him and O'Connell get along great.
Awkward guy, too.
It's crazy. J.J. McCarthy getting injured might be the only reason we're seeing this Sam Darnold resurgence, because it looked like J.J. had played well enough in the preseason to at least have a fan base thinking that he was going to get an opportunity. So
Sam was starting, though. Sam was starting, though. I think he got him over there. Let me ask you this. Is Sam Darnold, if he continues this trajectory—
comeback player of the year?
Nah, I called that before the season, so I'm good with that. I know that's happening.
He's not winning MVP.
I know quarterbacks, i.e. Shedeur Sanders. But listen, I got to ask you, is this guy playing himself into one of these big-ass contracts that we're paying everybody else after one fucking year? Why wouldn't Sam Darnold get paid?
See, this will be the dilemma, because the market will rule him out of being that guy in Minnesota because of JJ.
I don't know,
the market is so massive now, the kind of year that Sam's on the way to having, they'd have to pay him Dak Prescott caliber money. Because Purdy's going to set the bar here first. And if you're Darnold's agent, you're not going to sign until Purdy signs his. And if you're Minnesota, can you draft a kid number 1 like they did with McCarthy and then give Sam a 4-year extension at that price? Because that'll be all through JJ's contract.
Yeah, but they figured.
But somebody else will pay him, though.
Yeah, he might get it somewhere else.
Somebody else will pay him. That's what I'm saying.
But if you want to win, hey, if you want to win, though, guess what? These other guys are doing it. They're figuring it out. You're going to manipulate the cap like we know they did in Kansas City for Mahomes, like we know they've done for other players. You can manipulate the cap if you know what you want. If you want to do it, right?
I'll say this: Atlanta's screwed.
I don't think so.
Because listen, the one thing that Kirk can't do, Kirk is the most immobile quarterback out of all the 32 guys that started on Sunday.
Andy Dalton. But yeah.
No, Andy Dalton better athlete than Kirk. Kirk can't move it all, JB. If Kirk
he could have ran for that first down, they would have won the game.
If Kirk had Smitty athleticism, I mean,
he'd be a top tier athletic quarterback if that was the case.
Like, I don't know how you win with a guy like that. I mean, he's stuck in cement back there.
But man, listen, we saw Aaron Rodgers start to show more Aaron Rodgers athleticism. And now Aaron Rodgers is 3 times the athlete of Kirk Cousins. But I'm saying both of them had Achilles. So the narrative is the common denominator is the Achilles. Aaron looks like he's getting there. Is it just a matter of time for Kirk?
No.
So he's done.
Yeah. Think about this. He's the worst athlete of all 32 quarterbacks. You cannot tell me a guy that started on Sunday that's a worse athlete than Kirk Cousins.
Let's transition to Andy Dalton. I bet on it yesterday.
Red Rifle.
Bailey and I told Bailey to bet on it. I'm putting my house on it, and I said it. He was going to throw for 300. He threw for 319. Fucking what's the name?
Matt.
He threw for 319. But what do I know? The old school guy comes in and understands where to go with the football, regardless of how bad the O-line is, regardless of all that shit. If you know where you're going, but what do I know? With the fucking football, you'll be successful. The Red Rifle, Red Rocket, whatever the fuck they call him, did his thing, and they dominated the Raiders. And AP has come out with a video. Bailey, I don't know if we have it. And this is the AP that I grew up with and know. What's your take on this?
The team just didn't seem to show up tonight.
No, they didn't. I think as the game went on, I don't think it was a team. I think there was definitely some individuals that made business decisions, and we'll make business decisions going forward as well.
Antonio.
Facts.
That's the Compton I like and know. That's the player empowerment era that needs to end. And we need more guys like this who's willing to stand on business against the ownership and higher ups and say, you hired me, let me do my job. I think Dave Canales stands on that business because he said, listen, I know you drafted this kid as a rookie in Bryce Young. He is not ready with this roster to be our quarterback. This old slow white is. And that's what they've done. I think we need more coaches like them. I think we need more coaches like them, Shaun. I'm telling you, we're not going to get it back.
Hey, first of all, happy for Andy Dalton, but I'm not going. I'm not going to overreact because
thank you.
What this was, and I don't know why you people keep having to get reminded about.
Who's you people? Who's you people?
No, I'm not talking to you directly. I'm talking about people in general.
Nah, you're talking about white people.
Why you people have to keep getting reminded about why the NFL is king. If you don't show up with your A game, you will get your ass whooped by whoever you playing. The Browns lost to the Giants. The Bucks lost to the Broncos. The Saints, who were undefeated and rolling, scored 100,000 points the first 2 weeks. Had 1 touchdown against the Eagles, who had been getting blitzkrieged by everybody. If you don't show up, the Dolphins went to Seattle, couldn't get a damn first down. If you don't show up with your A game in the NFL, you can lose to anybody every week. I don't know why people. That's why I used to be on VSiN, and I love everybody at VSiN. They used to argue with me about strength of schedule. I said, ain't no damn strength of schedule in the NFL from year to year.
I agree. I say it all the time.
It's too much variance in who's good and who's not good from year to year. I'm just, man, look, you got to show up with your A game.
Shaun, I told Smitty, they all get paid on the 1st and 15th, dog, and they were all American. They were all Americans in college. This ain't college where you can go play a Toledo team that's a little better than a down Mississippi State team nowadays and win. These guys were all Americans at Alabama, Georgia, Clemson. These guys are all on the same team now, everywhere across the board. You may just be young at certain positions. You may not be as good up front. You may have a rookie quarterback on a bad roster, but they're still all Americans out there, and they're going to come get you any given Sunday. I don't know why people don't know that.
And to that point, and to Shaun's point, that's why I'm also not overreacting over Andy Dalton. Big time game. We know who Andy Dalton is. We know he's capable of doing that. We've seen it before. Andy Dalton, if I'm not mistaken, early in his career was a Pro Bowler years ago, but he was. So we know what he can do. But also remember why he's on the bench in the first place, though. Why is he a backup in the first place? I remember those games as well. Don't forget that. I remember those games as well.
He's older.
No, I remember those games as well. Matthew Stafford is old. He's not on the bench. A-Rod is old. He's not on the bench. There's older guys who still playing. It's the reason why Andy Dalton's been on the bench, because we've given him the starting position multiple times, and he's not performed well. So I'm not going to overreact over this one game.
I'll say this. The only thing I dislike about Andy's success, it's a lot of misinformed people in positions of power in the NFL. And now other people are going to look at it like, well,
mostly
they won
women.
Because Andy Dalton replaced Bryce Young. They're not going to look at it like you drafted a kid #1 and you changed coaches and systems on him his first 2 years. So it's much easier for a veteran like Andy Dalton to pick up and learn a new NFL system than it is for a damn.
But let's give credit. Let's give credit to the 38-year-old or whatever he is. Going on the road, and not having taken a snap all year and going against Max fucking Crosby all game and throwing for 320 and 3 touchdowns.
Hey, listen, they went in, they kicked their butt. I'm here in Vegas, so listen.
By the way, Shaun, he's the first quarterback this season to throw for 303 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Now, what are we talking about? So we're going to say the quarterbacks in the NFL aren't better than Andy Dalton? No one's thrown for 303 touchdowns, and it takes Andy fucking Dalton to come off the bench and do it first? Come on, man. This is a bad quarterback league right now.
Let me ask you this question, JB. Since we showed the video, you too, Smitty. Who was AP talking about?
I was going to say that. Listen. The first guy that comes off my it's going to be ironic and interesting to say this, but first of all, he coached Jack, who I coach as well. I've known Jack all life. Jack's from Long Beach, great kid, but he's also he got some shitbird in him, okay? He's going to do some shit on his own. He'll make a crazy pick versus Mahomes and talk that shit and do some shit. He owns Mahomes, by the way. Jack owns Mahomes. He'll do some shit like that, but then he'll also go against the grain now because that's his nature. That's how he grew up. Could be him because they've already got into it last year, and he went on a limb, AP did, to get him from New England and sign him when he was the interim head coach and said, I'm putting my fucking neck on the line for your ass. You better not fuck me. But
who is this?
Jack Jones.
Oh, Jack Jones, okay.
Don't ever trust a kid because he'll fuck you. It doesn't matter who they are. So that's one kid that comes to mind a little bit. But Davante Adams is the one that I'm thinking, is that really a possibility? Davante Adams? And is he doing it to get out to go with his boy A-Rod?
What you think, Smitty?
Nah, it ain't DA. I don't think it's DA. I don't know who it is, but it can't be DA. I don't think AP would go at the first or second best player on that team publicly.
He dropped some balls yesterday, Smitty. He dropped some balls.
But what's the win in doing that publicly again?
He dropped some balls, Smitty. I don't know if you watched it. He dropped some balls yesterday that looked a little bit kind of like Brandon back in the day with Miami. Remember when he was doing that, dropping the ball shit? And listen, then you see him before halftime where the team walks in and he's on the sideline talking shit. And he did it last year. I was at a Raider game last year with Pat Perez and getting to watch the game on top. And I was like, Davante was on the sideline going off. He was upset. He got it in him too now. So
he goes. I know.
Is AP willing to stand on business as a, let's be honest, a coach that could be like, fuck, is it what I say gold, or am I having to look up ownership and walk on eggshells?
Let me say this.
I real quick. I know you didn't watch the receiver show on Netflix, but if you did, you would have saw a number of clips and moments from last year of what you're saying. Devontae Adams spazzing out all damn game on the sideline. So he definitely has it. But go ahead, Shaun.
Let me say this. Great player, terrible fit.
Yeah.
AP is in a, whether they want to admit it or not, they're in a rebuild. Like, they don't have the talent to be a playoff team and make noise. They might have the grit and the toughness and the blue-collar work ethic, but when you just go roster talent from 1 to 22, they're not on par with the Chiefs. They're not on par with the Chargers. They don't have those kind of players yet. Devontae's a guy that's thinking gold jacket. He knows his career so far has him on a gold jacket path. What can derail that? To be on a bad team for the last 3-4 years of his career.
But let me ask you
numbers
something.
don't do what they're supposed to do.
But let me ask something. Isn't this though similar to what Billy Donovan's doing in Florida? I don't understand when your job's on the line in essence every single game. And let's be honest, AP's job's on the line every single game. He's in the NFL. He's an NFL head coach. What? Don't you go young? Isn't that the old adage for coaches? We go young. And I don't know why they're not going with the Lagway kid in Florida. It blows my mind, number one. Number two.
And Napier trying to get fired.
Why aren't we going with my main man that I've been saying to go with?
O'Connell?
And Aiden O'Connell. I don't understand. He's got the bigger arm. He's got the bigger arm talent. And you got Devontae Adams. And Brock Bowers is actually, he only had one catch. And if you see him with the ball in his hand, he looks like a fucking receiver out there. He's making cuts and moves on safeties and shaking them. And I'm like, why isn't this guy getting the ball 10 times a game? And I'm just trying to say, go with Aiden O'Connell. And I think you're going to see a change.
Hey, they're seeing something in practice, obviously, that's showing them, that's telling them otherwise. They saw something at camp. They're like, man, we got to go with Gardner, just the better player.
Shit. Stop believing that shit.
To your point, JB, you've been saying it forever. Go with the more experienced quarterback. You said the more veteran quarterbacks have been playing better.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you.
Minshew's not a league year starter. He's a fucking backup.
He's a vet, though. He's a
backup.
Pro Bowl last year.
Isn't that going against your Andy Dalton take?
Pro Bowl last year.
Isn't that going against your Andy Dalton take? He's a backup.
Hey, here's what's interesting about this. If you're a single man, right? The woman you spend the most money with should be the one you want to spend the most time with, right? So here's what here's what I don't understand about the Raiders. And this all falls back to Getsy. Was it Luke is his first name?
Yeah,
Luke Getsy, the OC there in Vegas.
Yeah.
Why in the hell would you draft Brock Bowers in the first round and not have him be the focal point of the offensive passing game?
I don't get it.
Or at least secondary to Devontae Adams. JB, I'll be honest. I text the coach from Atlanta. I sent him a YouTube clip of Kyle Pitts' highlights. I said, why in the hell would y'all have a first-round pick with this much talent and make him invisible in your passing game? The Falcons go out of their way not to throw Kyle Pitts the ball. And the one time they do, he go for 50 yards. Like, I don't get why you invest these high draft picks in these off-brand positions, and then when you get them, you utilize them like they're a 5th or later round draft pick.
Yeah.
Like, why in the hell take, and I know it wasn't Raheem them, they drafted him, but you got a kid that plays tight end, trying to top 10. You're the Raiders. You got a kid that's a top 10 draft pick at tight end. He should have a minimum. I would fire the coordinator. If I was sitting in the room with the coordinator, I say, listen, go get all the Gronkowski film, go get all the prime Travis Kelce film, go get all the Tony Gonzalez film, and every game when we get on that damn bus after the game, this kid better have those level targets.
Shaun, I don't believe there's any creativity at all anymore in offense. You got Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. Right. I would be in fucking 12 personnel with Zaire in the backfield, and I would be having Devontae isolated. I'd be in 12 trips, by the way, and I would make sure that I am putting either a safety or a fucking lockdown corner. Go ahead and give me Devontae Adams versus any corner in football. I'm taking him all day long. I'm throwing back shoulder on his ass. I'm throwing slant. I'm throwing hitch. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing deep fade. I'm throwing all that shit on that guy one-on-one with 2 tight ends that are better than most. And I'm just telling you, to me, we got a major creativity issue with offensive coordinators in the NFL.
JB, otherwise, why draft him in the first round?
It makes no sense. Yeah, it makes it.
And Kyle Pitts in the top 10 if you're just gonna put him in traditional tight end spots.
Hey,
Sean,
before
you
get out of here, Sean, we gotta get out of here. But before you get out of here, pay some homage to Coach fucking Flores in Minnesota. And maybe he was right in Miami with what he said about Tua. And maybe he's right what he's doing right now on defense. And maybe he deserves a fucking another head coaching job. Because what he's doing in Minnesota, no one's talking about. And that defense is elite. And they have a quarterback who's benefiting from that defense. And maybe, just maybe, what he said is true.
I've always said Flores was right. And I think Tua would be a better player if he had been more receptive to the fact that Flores was telling them the truth. Now, Miami got a debacle on their hands because they've already got a quarterback who, when healthy, to me, is not top half of the league from a talent standpoint. And you add in the injuries, and he just gave him a big deal. And obviously, as limited as I may think Tua is, he's light years better than anybody else they got because they were awful yesterday. And trust me, unlike AP, Mike McDaniel probably not strong enough to be like people making business decisions. But right now, man, look, Raheem Mostert not rushing back from that injury. Tyreek Hill, like, man, look.
I agree. Hey, Shaun, it's always a pleasure. We'll see you Friday. We'll see you Friday.
You, brother.
Hey, before I go, shout out to everybody who listened to me on Friday when I told you bet the house on Tennessee, baby. Tennessee's got a chance to win the SEC.
Shout out.
That's what he said.
Hey, we'll see you Friday, Shaun.
All right.
Have a good one, brother. Woo, a loaded show back to back. You got a new cigar. It's your third one of the day?
I don't give a fuck. I'm on one. And I one of my favorite guests is here. And guess what? This man on Sunday's show, the best pregame NFL show on planet Earth, Sean Salisbury was sick, had walking pneumonia, couldn't come on, but he gave us his pick. And Jeff and I killed the show. Jeff virtually hit every single pick that he made on yesterday's show. So you guys need to start following the show. Jeff, what up, Jeff? What up? Nadu, the owner and the CEO of the Sit Down Crime Pod. Join him on YouTube and on TikTok every single day. Follow Jeff because he killed it. Jeff, I actually did pretty well as well. I lost the Texans pick, and I won that Seahawks pick. I said Seahawks would dominate. They did. I just don't see, to Sean's point, how the Miami Dolphins can play with who they have at the helm at quarterback. I knew that was going to be a win, a walk away. I lost the Cowboys game, even though they made a desperate comeback there. I turned the game off. Smitty had to tell me that they were making an epic comeback, and Bailey mentioned it, and I'm like, what? And that to me was a little bit different. But where you at with what you did yesterday on all these picks?
Well, I'm glad they did mount the comeback because I had the over. I was a big fan of that bet. I thought both teams would get into the 20s, mid-20s, and they did. So, yeah, I thought the 1 o'clock games, I think I hit every one. 4 o'clock wasn't as good, but all in all, I had a good day. I hit Eagles. That was a big bet for me. I had the Eagles, had the over in that game I just talked about. I mean, I think if you're the Dolphins, do you try to go after Bryce Young? I
think you picked the Dolphins yesterday. I picked the Seahawks. That was one of our opposites. I
try to get Jameis if I can. If the Browns ain't gonna use them, I'm trying to get somebody.
They can't because
they can't.
Yeah, because I think they're going to lose Deshaun Watson. Personally, I think they're going to lose him. The NFL is probably going to suspend him. I mentioned it on our show yesterday on the NFL show, Smitty, that they go after Tannehill or trade for Bryce Young. I know on our ticker behind our head here is Skybox. SkyboxSportsNetwork.com. You can get one of these tickers behind my head. We'll have it at the studio as well. And the promo code is Coach JB. You'll get 10% off if you want to buy a ticker. So join that and go on over there. On the ticker, though, the reason I'm saying it, which right there, look at that. It's on there right there. Look at that. Slapdick Smitty, the Coach JB show.
Ooh, I like that.
Let me ask you, it said that a lot of teams are inquiring about trading for Bryce Young. Smitty, Jeff and I talked about it yesterday. I think Miami should go after him. I think the Packers could even go after him to be a backup. I don't believe Malik Willis is the long-term backup there if Jordan Love gets hurt. There's also some other scenarios out there, and I think Russell Wilson should be the first and foremost guy that you go after.
Well, I mean, I will say they got to do something. They went after Tyler Huntley. They got him. Look, I don't know if that's a lot. We don't know what Tua's long-term prognosis is. I mean, concussions, though, seem to be a major issue around the NFL. Continue to be a major issue. You had two Eagles yesterday, Lane Johnson, Devontae Smith, both concussions. By the way, I'm just going to say it. That Saints team, why are we blocking people 12 yards out of bounds? Why are we – I mean, you saw that hit on Devontae Smitty. That's a weak, dirty hit, man. I mean, that ain't a football play, is it? I mean, the whistle – where the fuck were the refs, by the way?
Yeah, I had to see the hit again. I remember I saw it once yesterday, like quickly on like red zone. Like, ooh, that's a big time hit. I had to see it again to determine if I think it's dirty or not. I just think when those two teams play, and you even saw it at the end, your boy, what's his name, the D tackle, Jalen Carter talking trash at the end to the fans and to the team. I just think when those two teams play, it just seems to always be just kind of one of those physical and a type of matchup. So
I'll tell you what, I would be Jalen Carter. That would be me. I would be out there bullshit with them motherfuckers. And I love that kid. I like him a lot.
I don't like him at all. He's complete opposite.
Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I don't like him. Hey, Jeff.
Of course you don't like him because he'll be the best defensive player in the history of that team someday. Hey, let me give you some shout out, Coach. You, Andy Dalton, had over 300 yards, and I called. What did I tell you yesterday? That fucking Saints team would not get to 21. They didn't even get to 15. What a phony team that was. This is why you don't get too hype off 2 games.
Well, that's why you don't get hyped on Derek Carr. I told y'all. But what do I know? Hey, Jeff, DK Metcalf torched the Dolphins yesterday, had another 70-yard touchdown. It was against cover 2. But Mina Kimes apparently said you can't run this coverage. Where are you at with this?
Leave Mina alone.
How serious are the Seahawks? How serious are the Seahawks in the West?
Well, I'm not going to say anything about Mina. I don't want to get Smitty in trouble. If it were me and JB, I would say something right now, but I'm not going to.
Good. Hey,
Smitty, I like him.
That's why appreciate that. Smitty Gris appreciates that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, Smitty. That said,
the show's growing. See, we're growing the show. Appreciate.
Yeah, listen, this is a weird division, man. I won the game. I did get totally wrong yesterday. Was the Rams? I thought with that team, that offensive line, I got it right.
I got it right.
You did. But you know
what? Nervous though. You was nervous. Don't.
But that game reminded me a lot of last week with the Baltimore Ravens. They're up 10. The Niners, I'm thinking, all right, beautiful. They keep going up 10, 7, 10. I laid 6. I'm thinking this is great.
Can I just fucking say, is this not what Kyle Shanahan is? He's a fucking choke artist. This is who he is. He'll never win a Super Bowl. When are you guys going to listen to me? Kyle Shanahan lost that game yesterday. I mean, it's no one else. Purdy played as well as you could play without any stars at receiver.
Early he did, yeah.
Brandon Ayuk's the most overpaid wideout. Never should have asked for the $1 over fucking $6 million. He's fucking garbage. He is not a number 1 receiver. And can I also say what I've said on this show for a long time? Did I not say the best receiver on that roster is Jennings? Have I not? I not drew it up on the board? Have I not? Hey, Jeff. Jeff, I'm on record, Jeff. I wrote it up. I drew it up. I said, Jennings is the only true.
I'm not sure if you know. I'm not sure if you knew yesterday, but Debo didn't play. Christian McCaffrey didn't play.
My point. That's my point.
Of course you're going to throw it to him.
Jeff, all JB need is one example to show that he's right. Give them one or 2 games. And see, I told you. That's all you need.
Wait up, dog. You had Brandon Ayuk. He just set out. You just told him that he had to make fucking $60 million. What do you mean you didn't have no wideouts? You had a guy who set out to be the best fucking wideout in football. That's what he's getting paid.
And he was getting double coverage. They were covering him, which made Jawan Jennings' job easier, JB. You know the game. He was a decoy.
We're going to show it on Wednesday, Jeff. I didn't see no goddamn double coverage on Ayuk.
Well, that's what they
were doubling and rolling coverage towards IU, which made Jawan Jennings' job much easier. That was the game plan.
I got the game film, homie. Stop making up double team shit.
You ain't seen it though. You ain't got it yet till Wednesday.
You don't need to see it. That's what any coach would do. I would do that.
That's common sense, ain't it, Jeff? Ain't that common sense? Football 101.
I mean, it's like when Devontae Smith is out there. He's going to be doubled, so there's no AJ Brown. So what do you do? Like, by the way,
listen, give Purdy credit for playing as well as he did early with no Kittles, no CMC, no Debo, and then showing what he did with the true wideout and Jennings, getting I think he had 11, 12 catches, and then Ayuk overrated. We already know. I've said it on this show. And then the Rams, Matthew Stafford, just proving to you that he makes nobodies somebodies. And that's what the greats do. Matthew Stafford's done it his whole career. Aaron Rodgers has gotten more wide receivers in the 5th, 6th, 7th round paid than any other quarterback. That is what quarterbacks are supposed to do. Make shitty wideouts known. And that's what Matthew Stafford did.
Listen, you're 100. He's 100% right with that take. I mean, that's where you don't have much in the league anymore. You don't have much of what Matthew Stafford was able to do. And that's why he's great. But I have to ask you guys, doesn't this league say they care about player safety, right? Okay, show this clip, please. I mean, come on, man. Seriously.
Let me see.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, really?
I ain't gonna lie, Jeff. I'm not with you on this one, player.
Where the fuck's the whistle at, dude? He comes in late, bro.
He don't come in late.
He'll come in late. The whistle we're taught to keep going until the last till that whistle is on. He's still up. He's still running. That's called topping him off, Jeff. That's not. I know you're an Eagle fan. That's not dirty.
That has nothing to do with being an Eagle fan. But here's what I'm trying to say. Then don't throw these bullshit roughing the passer fucking penalties.
I agree to that.
I agree to that.
I agree to that.
You throw these bullshit ass flags, but you won't throw a flag on that.
I agree to that.
A penalty. They didn't throw a penalty on that.
I agree to that take, because look, if he breaks that tackle and keeps running, they're going to let him run.
But I'm not. Right. But that's a tackle above the head. Watch his fucking head.
It's not. I watched it from the end zone. He hit him in the back
of the head. His helmet got knocked off, bro.
I watched the end zone copy. He hits him in the back. It just looks like it.
So how's his head not?
Because he hit him in the back and it popped. But you know why? Here's why, though, and I'm glad you brought this up, Jeff. This is why, though. Because these fucking players don't strap up their hats.
Yeah.
This guy had one buckle unbuttoned. He got hit in the back plate, which will gyrate your head, and it popped the helmet off. He didn't get hit in the head at all.
But you know better than me that if that's another ref, they would have flew a flag. There's no fucking consistency. Don't throw these bullshit ass flags on roughing the passers if you're not going to call that, or you're going to.
Well, we know, Jeff, that this league all they care about is the damn quarterback. They gonna protect their biggest investment. They don't care about any other position but the quarterback. So everybody else is fair game.
Well, I guess I'm wrong. I guess everyone else knew. I mean, these fucking retards in this chat don't think it. Of course, they don't think anything's a flag. The whole fucking world knew it was a flag. You guys are crazy. Both you two are crazy. That's a fucking flag. You know, in this league, it's crazy. That's a flag.
So,
you know it.
Jeff, to be fair,
I'll say this. If they would have called a flag on that play in today's game.
It has nothing to do with a fucking Eagles fan. It has nothing. I tweet about injuries all day. These fucking officials stink.
Yeah, well, I agree with that point. I'm saying if they would have called a flag on that play, would I be shocked or surprised in today's game? No, not at all. But if you ask me my opinion, do I think that's a dirty play as a former D lineman myself? No, we're taught if a guy is still up and he's wrapped up, go finish him off. You don't sit back in this way and just assume he's down. I'll give you a perfect. I did that one time playing against Northern Illinois on ESPN. My DN, Jonathan Newsom, who's been on this show, had the quarterback wrapped up in the backfield. My silly ass, I'm cheering like, hell yeah, yeah. He breaks the tackle, runs for a first down when I could have easily hit him, finishing him off. You, as a D lineman, as a defensive player, you finished the play. So I don't see that being dirty. But I hear what you're saying from your perspective.
I want to make sure that I don't know if you guys are understanding what Jeff's saying. Jeff's saying it's a flag.
Yeah, well, these fucking idiots don't understand anything.
You're saying it should be a flag because that's what the league sees.
Yes.
We see that's called more often than not.
Yes,
right. Many guys are saying that should be regular football, and that's just a hit. And I say strap up your helmet, and I also say to Devontae Smith, go fucking hit the weights. Because again, this is one of the guys
he's just little though. I don't think he can put on a lot of weight. He's small.
I brought this up before with him. Look at his body. He's They don't. He doesn't even have any definition, homie. Like this kid doesn't hit no weights. I don't care if you're small. D-Jack was small. Have you seen how ripped he used to be when he was fucking flying by people? He was chiseled though. He was in shape. This guy right here, it seems to be like, I don't want to hit weights, and then I want to get the referee to call a flag on me. Strap up your helmet, homie.
I'll tell you what, though. Some of you folks are sick motherfuckers. You really are. I mean, you want these people to just be fucked in the head when they're like 60 so you can watch football all day. You guys are fucking weird, man. That's a dirty fucking hit. I'm sorry. I
don't think it's dirty.
If that were a Carolina Panther, I would have said it. If that was an LA Ram, I would say it. That's a fucking bullshit fucking hit right there.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's dirty, but I mean,
fair enough.
I don't.
That's football. That's regular football. That's regular football.
Hey Jeff, if he speared him in the hat, I would agree with you. I think he just hits him because he's still running his feet. He hits him.
Got him wrapped up. He came through his
shoulder. Hey, it's all good as long as we get to watch football on Sunday. I don't care if people are fucked in the head and killing people in their 60s.
You're not feeling sorry for these guys that chose to play the game. And get
but that is the dirty fucking hit. I'm sorry. It just is.
I can't.
I don't think it's dirty.
Can I just stay down?
Yeah, let's move on. We talked about the Eagles already. I want to call out.
What would have happened if that was Mahomes? By the way,
well, he
again, quarterback is different rules.
We're
into that.
Yeah, I don't.
Why are we having? But a receiver can just be fucking destroyed.
Well, if he's still running, Jeff. If he's still running, I think it's fair game. That's just my opinion. Let me ask you this: another unethical talk, because you deal with this on a daily basis with your world. Tennessee takes out Oklahoma in college. Kirk Herbstreit called out Oklahoma for unethical injury gamesmanship versus Tennessee. This is college football. He said it drives him crazy. You look over after a big play, and all of a sudden he looks over and goes down. It's not necessarily against the rule, but it's unethical as hell. Did you get to see the hit on Tennessee-Oklahoma game?
No, I didn't.
Take a look here. I think that's welcome to the SEC, boys.
Yeah, I mean, he's out of bounds, but I don't know how you stop yourself there. I mean,
you don't.
And that's again like
he's out of bounds, but he's out of bounds still running. He doesn't know he's out of bounds himself. You know what I'm saying? He's still running. His left foot touched the ground.
I mean, and it's a bang play. It's right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like some of the shit like that would not be something I would get upset.
But what Kirk's saying is after the play, the guys are over there like, and listen, back in the day, that was football, man. You saw it on the 30 for 30 Florida when the guy knocked out in the national championship game. He said he was going after that guy regardless. He was going to make sure that he feared playing in that game. To me, that's what it is. That's what football is to me. I loved it personally. I think that Oklahoma has a rude awakening, Jeff. I don't think they're very good. I've been saying it the whole time. The quarterback's not very good, and now they're going in the SEC, and Tennessee welcomed them. That's all.
Well, this is why I mentioned I wasn't a big fan of them this year. You let Dylan Gabriel go for that product. You benched Dylan.
Who's the guy? Jackson Darnold, is that his name?
Jackson Arnold. Yeah. Sounds like a Wonder. He sounds like a Wonder Years character or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
But I will say, and listen, this chat will get very upset with my take here because this is a football show, and I've got to agree with everything everyone says. My son, if I ever have one, will never play football. That's just the truth. And if you want to get on me, I don't give a fuck. You think I care?
That's what a lot of the mothers are saying nowadays, though. That's what these mothers say nowadays at the youth level. They're saying all this shit, and that's why I believe the game has softened. And
it definitely has, and you're not wrong. But you look at, for 10, 12, 15 years, someone getting hit in the head that much, it's just not. And again, we look at why a lot of guys get fucked up down the road. That's the reason.
Yeah. But, I mean, we got to choose to either play it or don't. You're saying as a parent you wouldn't let your kid play. I mean, hey, listen, I've had talks with Marcellus Wiley. There's a lot of parents that are like, their mothers don't want them to play. Listen, the game's changed. And I don't know. They've changed it to where you can't hit no more in practice and you can't develop any tough skin. So when we go to the games, you're seeing more injuries, in my opinion, because we don't practice how to take an injury. And then we fake it. And then we have this feminine energy out here in a gladiator sport. We're trying to make it flag football. It's an oxymoronic take. You can't do it. It's either a gladiator sport or it's not. That's all I'm saying. You're just strictly saying this is what I would do as a parent. So
yeah, I wouldn't particularly want my son doing it. That said, I know there are a lot. Like I know Weddle, he's a high school coach, right?
Yeah.
You know, then you look at stuff like that and you see all these kids that have success, and it's like, well, all right, but I don't know. I think it's a very dangerous thing to do. But
hey,
but
Jeff,
let
me ask you this. I said it. You and I talked about it yesterday, and I brought it up. I want this larger crowd to hear it. LSU to me is the common denominator out here. USC couldn't stop Michigan's running game and allowed 32 yards passing and got beat in the big house. Again, Lincoln Riley did again what Kyle Shanahan does in Frisco, chokes when it matters.
Yeah.
And he choked on offense, not defense.
Yeah, but remember,
win the game on offense, Jeff. They had a chance to win the game. They ran 2 screen plays and killed the clock on their own offense. And if they just run the football, they kill another minute. That game's over.
Well, but remember though, same problem as usual for USC. They gave up almost 300 on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean that can't happen at any level. I mean,
But to my point, is LSU not the common denominator here? Because SC struggled with LSU. LSU's tied with a bad UCLA team at halftime the other day. USC beat Utah State, and Temple just put up a 50-burger on Utah State. Maybe LSU is the common denominator here. Maybe football's just not very good.
Well, JMU put up 70 on UNC. I mean,
saying, man, maybe football is just really not very good.
But have you ever seen something like that, Coach? They gave up 52 in the first half. UNC. Mac Brown should quit. I mean, he should retire.
He said he was, and then he came back, said he wasn't. I don't know.
My God.
I don't know what's going on there, but it's very interesting to say the least. It's crazy. Let me ask you this. Lamar Jackson. Smitty thinks he's calling out Marlon Humphrey on a live on the plane. I don't agree. I think what y'all say is cap. I think it's a bullshit video. I don't know if you saw this on the airplane.
I did see this.
What do you?
Gardner Johnson does this too. He goes live on the. I think it's these people that go live for everything. As someone is in content, it's fucking. When I go out and I see someone at the bar on live, like it's like
I don't. Yeah,
like why are we doing this? Like, what's the point?
Let me play it, Bailey. I don't know if I agree with you.
Got the dub. Keep stacking. We shouldn't even be live right now. Like, we need to be getting right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, there you go, Walker Texas. You straight though? How you feeling? You got a lot of drip on, low key.
I think he's just.
No.
I think he's just annoyed. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I don't know if he even is really that. I just think it's all BS. Personally.
So, are you thinking that? So, what should he have said?
Like, of course, JB gonna hate Lamar's not somebody who's like a.
If that was Sam Darnold,
never came over. It's like a fake guy or anything like that. Like I think he saw the way the game went.
I think it's alive, Smitty. I think it's alive. I don't think it's anything. I don't think
so
it's.
That was.
He didn't get up and like slap the phone, Smitty. He didn't get up and like.
No, that's not who he is, bro. I'm saying Marlon goes live a lot when they win games, but the game. It ended kind of shitty. The Ravens were kicking their ass, and almost gave the game away late. So Lamar's like, "Why are you going live playing around when we fucking look shitty as hell at the end of the game?" He said, "We should be trying to get right."
He don't look mad. I don't take that as a mad quarterback, Smitty. Do you? Come on, homie.
I mean, the fight, man. I'm not saying he's about to fucking bang on Marlon Humphrey. This ain't like I'm saying. He's saying like, bro, like chill, like this ain't like basically like it's a time and place for everything. This ain't the time and place to be going live after that performance that we put out there, especially on defense late in the game. That's all he said. He shook his hand. They still boys. It ain't no beef. He's just saying like, just chill a little bit on the live right now.
That was a rough look for Marlon Humphrey though. Marlon Humphrey's like got baited. Like, shut up, get out of my face. We just lost.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't think major any issues.
But Coach, if that was Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones, you would be all right with it.
Nah, if it wasn't serious, no, I wouldn't. Hey Jeff, let's get into your 2 picks before you get out of here tonight. Another fucking 2 Monday night games at the same goddamn time. Hopefully everybody in here has double TVs or a possibility to watch both at the same time. Where you at? Let's get Jeff Nadu's picks, who killed it yesterday on the Last Chance Q. Give us your 2 picks for tonight's games. One's at 4:30 Pacific. One's at 5:15 Pacific. Where you at with these 2 games?
Well, yeah, I don't understand this totally. I don't mind it. I mean, I'll watch what game I guess I feel like watching if I watch either. Jaguars, Bills, I think it's a tough game. I'm not running, though, to lay points with the Bills. I know we want to just kind of assume, hey, offense is great. Yeah, it is, but defense isn't, right? This is a team that's going to be in a lot of high-scoring games all year.
No Evan Ingram on Jacksonville.
Yeah, there's still some weapons there. I feel like the Jags are good enough to get low 20s here. I kind of like the over a little bit. I thought this was like a 27-21, 24-21 type of game, something like that in the term of like around 45 to 48 points. It's not a great number. I'm not running to bet it. The other game I would probably bet. I like the over in this game. I think there's a lot of points in this one. I think the Bengals will get into the 30s with everybody back.
T. Higgins is back, Jeff. T. Higgins is back. He'll have both wideouts for the first time this season. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. They still scare me with no run game. I still think they're one-dimensional, but Joe Burrow looked a little bit more on his P's and Q's last week versus Kansas City. I thought they should have won that game. So you think this will go over?
Yeah, I think both teams should score, especially the Bengals. I think they can, like I said, get into the 30s. You look at the Commanders, give up 37 in week 1. The Giants at times moved the ball last week. That was just kind of a rough, low-scoring game. Yeah, I thought this was like 34-17, something like that. I think this one goes over. This would be the one I'd play over the other one.
No doubt, no doubt. Jeff, shout out. Keep killing it. We'll see you Friday with our weekend picks, Saturday and Sunday's picks, and then we'll be back Sunday for Last Chance Q with Jeff Nadu and Shaun.
Before I go, I want to say one thing. It is interesting, isn't it? I watch very little of these games, and I still pick games better than all of you. Must suck. See ya.
Later.
All right, then, Jeff. Last but not least, JB.
It is E-Dub Monday, Smitty. It's Super Bowl champion E-Dub, Eric Weddle Monday. And let's
head coach.
Yeah. I'm in my mode, ready to transform you into I hate a storm, Hail Marys, I make it pour. Good, I ain't lying, you little giants, we been defiant. Rising. What's the cost? Be the boss, breaking down the walls. We all in once the coin gets tossed. Got the kind of action, never acting. No need to scramble to get traction. We make it happen. From 3-4s to 4-3s, we get it cracking.
Yeah, E-Dub in the building. How you feeling?
Hey, we could have used some of those touchdowns from my high school team, man. Unfortunate loss.
Tough loss. Hey. 3-0 in high school football. That is you don't see that too often. That means you're doing a hell of a job, man. Keeping a team like
balling.
Torrey Pine's a pretty damn good team, right?
Well, should fire the OC, but the OC is me. But on the flip side, the DC is me too. So, it's just
it's kind of what do you do?
At least you don't have staffs bickering at each other because I'm running the show on both sides. So I just kind of a complete. I told this out to the boys when a situation happens like that, it's an utter incompetence and failure as a coaching staff. And I put that on myself. There were many calls that I should have had back. There was situational football that, on the flip side, you look back and maybe you do things differently. But at the end of the day, the boys fought and competed, and they were pissed off after that game, which I love to see because we're changing the culture. We're changing the identity that they expect to win these games, where in the past they wouldn't have. So.
Hey, Josh Bailey is asking, are they still running wing T there?
They're running it out of a gun. They do it out basically at a 2x2 with a tight end in the corner, the wing in the back away, and then they run all their buck sweeps and traps and crisscross counters.
That's a hard offense to stop, though, Edo. That's a hard high school. That's a hard offense to stop. I always said if I coach high school, I'm running counter to the cows come home. Defenses cannot defend counter at high school level for some reason, and it blows my mind. Explain real quick. Dive into it. I don't think all the coaches in the chat. We got 2,500 people in here live. I appreciate everybody. 5,500 watching across all platforms. Shout out to everybody on this EDub Monday. A lot going on in the world, EDub, but explain real quick why you're the OC and the DC as the head coach. I did the same thing at Long Beach Cabrillo. I use the same mindset. Blame me. Parents, kids, everybody, blame me. I got the big shoulders. I can't pay nobody anyway. So guess what? I'll do it all. And, we went 7-3 my first year, taking over a bad Cabrillo high school team in a league with Long Beach Poly and Lakewood at the time were powerhouses, and having to play Bosco and Centennial and all these teams in that Power 5 level at that time. They've moved high school all around since. But explain why you did that as the head coach.
Well, it's my first go around at legit, coaching. I coached youth football and I did both sides of the ball and head coach. And, you take the jump to high school. At the end of the day, there's certain things that I've learned over the course of playing and following great leaders. And I want to do it my way. And if my way fails, then so be it. So I feel defense is easy per se, and I gravitate more so towards offense and learning and growing. And
because you know how to defend it.
Yeah, because I'm a
player. I tell people all the time, as an offensive player, I knew how to attack defense. As a defensive guy, you know how to run an offense. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I know it beats every coverage. I know how to beat every rule, and so at the end of the day, I ultimately want to gravitate towards giving one side of the ball to an assistant coach that has earned it and will run it to the standard that I want it to be ran at. But right now, I just don't see that yet, and I have too much fun doing it. So, guys, I do this to give back, and I do it to help these kids become men. And I could be doing a lot of other things. So if taking the fun out of coaching, who just wants to be a manager and who just wants to just sit on the sidelines and let someone else call the plays and have an impact on the game? Like that's not me. I want to have an impact on everything that's going on.
No doubt. Hey, I know Smitty got some questions. We got to go right into your alma mater, Utah. And a good friend of mine is a head coach who watches this show at BYU, and he said to tell E-Dub, we want our state back. BYU, Kalani Sitake over there dominated K-State.
BYU had a big time win. It's great for the state. It's great for the conference. We want both those schools winning all the way until we meet up in Rice Eccles, I think in November. So, shoot, I mean, on the road against a top 15 team with a true freshman quarterback starting and playing and not even knowing until minutes before the game, probably didn't get any of that throughout the week, and completely dominate that game. It's a lot like the Ravens. Dominated the game, and then you give up.
It was crazy at the end,
yeah. That's just the game was in hand, and it's the team's still gonna fight. And it's great to learn and kind of you can still put the hammer down on the players, saying this is why we can't let up, and learn how to be a championship team, and we got to finish these guys, et cetera, et cetera. But anyone that watched that game, it was not close. We dominated the line of scrimmage, and Oklahoma State looked paltry on offense, and that's because we're a top 10 defense in the country. Our defense and our game travels in the NCAA. It's always going to be there. We're never going to get blown out because of the type of football we play. If we could ever get stability at the quarterback, which Isaac showed me some things as a true freshman, it's nice to have a future at that position. He's going to be a stud. He's got a long ways to go, and once Cam gets back, he'll slide back in and learn from watching, like a lot of these quarterbacks should be doing at the NFL level and even collegiately. So, like where we're at, we got a big game in Arizona, but we're the cream of the crop of the conference. Everyone knows it.
Hey, you went out. You still went to Stillwater and locked down a team that's notoriously known to be offensive minded.
Exactly. They're averaging 45 points a game, and we held them to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable defense. Utah's right there. That's going to be interesting, that league, as it unfolds there and continues to go down that into the conference play deeper into the season. So shout out to them and Utah. Smitty, we got to talk about USC and Michigan, man. With
we got to talk about that. Michigan takes out SC.
Let me give a little shout out. Let me give a little shout out to BYU. This is the rivalry is the rivalry, but blood is thicker than water. And Coach Sataki and Jay Hill, very close with. I texted them. Texted them after the game, congratulated them. I'm pulling for those guys because, listen, you meet great people and great men that lasts much longer than a rivalry game. So
it's funny. It's ironic though. People don't know the history here. So I've known Kalani for my whole life. We're really good friends. He was the DC at Utah for years. Got his first job at Oregon State after he left, and went over there with after he left Utah. He said, "I got to leave Utah to get out of underneath Coach Witt," and he did that. And Witt gave him his blessing. And then he gets his now he's back at his alma mater where he was the fullback for a guy named Steve Sarkisian when he played quarterback there at BYU. And Norm Chow was the coach there with Edwards and all that. So there's a full circle here. So E-Dub played at Utah, got to meet Kalani as a coach there, even though Kalani played at BYU, and now he's the head coach at BYU. All in the same state. It is what it is. Kalani is great dude, man. I wish I could tell you stories that you wouldn't believe, but that's what he is. So anyway, let's dive in. Go ahead, Smitty. Michigan.
No, you're good. No, you got to show love. But transition into Michigan SC. JB, what's that crazy stat you threw out earlier? How many times they run the ball versus pass?
No, they only threw for 32 yards.
Off the yard. There you go. Threw for 32 yards and beat SC. Look at E. Weddle's face right now, man. What's your take just on that stat line, but just the game in general, and Michigan getting this? I call it, big time win.
Yeah, I mean, this brought a lot of people back to what Michigan was supposed to be after that loss early in the season. And Michigan is a Utah, or you could even say a souped up Utah. And who SC could never beat in the Pac-12 was Utah. So it doesn't surprise me one bit. At the end of the day, you are what you are, and you can change and you can be better. Offensively, I felt like they should have executed better. But at the end of the day, you get punked and pushed around because you can't stop the run. That's what's going to happen. That's always the case from USC. They're just, I don't want to say soft. I don't like saying soft, but at the end of the day, they get pushed around in the trenches, and that's what happened in that game. You only throw for 30 yards and you lose. It's almost as bad as RB can't score a point and lose them 3-0.
That's Rancho Bernardo. He does high school, so he's just so humble of a guy. Listen, I got to ask you, though. Lincoln Riley does this more often than not, and it's just being honest.
Yes,
he's on offense. He lost the game for that team. He had the game. They were moving the ball. They had time on their side, and he throws 2 screen passes, 1 screen to the dirt and 1 shovel pass, which if you're going to do that and play it safe and run screen, just run the ball and clock it. And they would have eliminated at least another 50 seconds, which would have made Michigan throw the ball because they could not afford to run the football. They would have had to throw the ball. The game would have been over. USC wins in the big house. That is a coaching blunder, and that right there is the reason Michigan won the football game, accompanied with running the football for almost 300 yards down USC's
6.3 yards a carry on 46 rushes.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about situational football. You talk about coaching when it matters and making those proper decisions for your team. Did you go over all the proper things that you need to go throughout the week? Like, that is a head coach's checklist. And then not only going through it, but are you sound in what you're doing? Like, I know earlier in the show, you talked about Colorado. That last play is I don't even know the proper word. It should never happen.
Never.
Wow. there's so many different things that are wrong with this play.
Break it down for the fans.
Like the guy that is supposed to pull up the rollout, what was he doing? Where was he running? What were you looking at? First of all, that Shedeur never should have even got out the pocket if the other guy does his job. Why is the corner? Why is the corner pressed? Yes, you're supposed to pull him up. Why is the corner pressed with 2 seconds to go in the game? They should have all been at the goal line or at least at the 10, and you catch your guy there. Then you teach them to box them out. So you are between the ball and the man, and then the guy behind is the jumper. Then you have a back catcher for the tip of the jumper. So I don't
right there, Edub. What the hell are those two safeties doing in the student section?
It's a total disaster of situational football that, in my mind, the coach lost this game for the boys. And you can go on and on about it was incredible play, incredible catch. First of all, the catch was much better than the throw.
Yeah.
And the fight and all this other stuff is great. But as a player and a coach, you look at just what actually happened. That is a failure to the boys of situational football and coaching.
There's
and I don't
bad football, Edub. Nothing worse.
Yeah, it's. I mean, look at the electric though. You know, like the scene, like Matt was saying, like, of course, man. If you're a fan and alum, like that's amazing. You're gonna remember that for the rest of your life. But as just a football coach or a football savant that is always looking at how to get better and just situational football, that's atrocity and an utter failure.
We saw a lot of it. Lincoln Riley, Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers.
Got those. Yeah, we got them suckers.
And Dave Aranda. Weddle. That's another coaching. I can't reiterate your sentiment more because, again, as taking my player side and put it in coaching side, we let those kids down that night. All those teams that I just mentioned, we let those kids down. And prior to that, Deion Sanders was letting down Colorado's kids by not punting the football on 4th down, going for it on their minus side, and giving Baylor a quick score. And I said, man, that if I'm the players, I'm pissed at Deion Sanders for that. Luckily, they won, which covers now up that blunder on coaching. But people don't want to talk about why not just punt the football, play field position. Baylor's done nothing on offense without two special teams. Without special teams, Baylor scores 0. I mean, they don't do anything. And Colorado dominates the game. And we don't want to talk about that, though. But, again, I look at it from another lens and say, listen, I know all the haters will say I'm a hater, but the bottom line is you failed those kids. And luckily, sometimes you get lucky and win the game, as Colorado did.
Win, baby, win.
Hey, Edub,
no one's gonna remember that at the end of the year.
Yeah. Speaking of that transition and that segue, the Rams and the Niners game, I want to talk about, speaking of bad, take a look at Kurt Warner's tweet. He shares my sentiment when it comes down to quarterbacks. Smitty,
I wish you would
read that. I was going to read this out loud.
I wish you would have called out the quarterback though. Like what? Put a name on it.
Yeah.
Put a name on it, Kurt. Put a name on it.
What are you worried about? You don't own nothing to nobody. You're a legend.
How about
for the audio listeners, Kurt Warner tweeted out, I rarely turn off the tape without watching every significant snap. But right now, I am fighting that rule because the QB play I'm watching is that bad. It's making me physically uneasy.
Well, I've been saying it for 4 years, but what do I know? Now we got guys like Kirk Herbstreit and all these other guys in the media hitting me up saying, man, you've been calling that shit for a couple years now.
But now I believe it now. Now that Kurt Warner's saying it and other guys are saying it now I'm going to be
you believe it. I got you. VPS. It's all good. But listen, it's fine. As long as people share and then, they go back and say, I know a guy that's been saying it for 4 years. Let me ask you something, though, in that regard. We're going to put names to it, Smitty. We're going to put names to Kurt Warner texts and tweets.
This is the realest show on planet Earth.
Realest show on planet.
Yes,
let's start with the quarterback play, Deshaun Watson. He took 8 sacks. Can't do it. I don't care. Because we're going to use the narrative as, he don't have no O-line. Well, guess what? You didn't give Justin Fields a pass last year. You didn't give Daniel Jones a pass last year. And guess what?
You put a legit quarterback on Cleveland right now. Not even a legit quarterback. If you put Andy Dalton on Cleveland Browns, just a veteran quarterback that plays the quarterback position, You saw what he did with the Panthers. We can get into that. Just put a guy in there that will run the offense. They will win.
Hey, I thought the Panthers had no O-line. I thought the Panthers had no O-line.
Hey,
why did Deshaun get
Antonio
sacked
Pierce
8 times?
called out his whole team, though. I love that.
How did Deshaun get sacked 8 times, but the old white stiff don't get sacked and goes for 320? But what do I know?
The reality is that's why certain guys can hang around the league and have been successful. It's learning through attrition, learning from watching, that there is truth to that. And multiple people are saying that. JB's been saying it for a few years now. But finally, people are starting. Alex Smith went on it when he was talking about Bryce Young, saying he feels for him because he's been through that situation. But also, look at the situation he was put in. 3 head coaches in 18 months, not having any stability. That even shows you more.
Getting rid of your wideout. DJ Moore got rid of your best wideout.
Yes. Even more so, you should have learned from watching and wait to put a good team around you. The days of Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck and these guys that are #1 picks that can turn around a franchise, CJ Stroud, like, they're the anomaly. They are not what all these other guys are. You're going to fail more often than not and turn a franchise around because these guys aren't those one-of-ones. And that doesn't mean those guys aren't good. It's just give them some time. Jordan Love, just ease them into this thing, because once you crack them, they're never coming back. Zach Wilson, I hope for the Carolina. Bryce Young, I hope that he goes somewhere else and gets another chance. But will he be the same guy? I don't. He's broken right now.
Put on your GM hat real quick. When do you cut Deshaun Watson and cut?
I would have cut him 3 years ago. I would have never signed him. Would never have signed him because character and culture and being a good person matter, and allegations and this is that. Like, it would have never have happened. I have 3 daughters. Okay, I got an amazing wife that I cherish deeply, and women in general. I stand up for women, so it would have never happened. Then this other thing, you're not playing for me. I at least leave the program until we figure out the facts. You're not being a part of my team until you are, until you're proven innocent. I'm sorry, I can't have this distraction.
Yeah,
there's too much smoke and not fire. So
yeah,
I'm
because
sorry.
It's a distraction on the man that's having the
100%.
allegations against the allegations against the guy has got to be more stressful. Like, you got to understand, this guy can't perform at that level with all this shit under his. I said it 3 years ago. I said there's no way this guy's ever the same. Yeah, but shout out to the 4 aces and Live Golf and Pat Perez, our boy. They made it to the finals yesterday of the Live Championship. They lost, but they made it to the finals. Shout out to them. I just want to give that out.
The reality with quarterback play, and I honestly respect Carolina for making the change. I would respect Cleveland for the players that are playing and the older guys, that you're doing what's best for the team and trying to give yourself a chance to win. He's not good. Why is he still given the opportunity over and over and over again? Give another guy a chance. Let your players believe that you can go win and keep fighting. This guy at leading the realm, it's not ever happening. He's not changing.
Yeah,
he's terrible.
Let's talk about another one of your teams, the Chargers. They lost a tough one to the Steelers, who Mike Tomlin and that team just continues to play their style of football, run the football. TJ Watt's a freak.
He's a monster, y'all. Like, not freak. Nah, he's different. And his brother JJ was amazing in his prime, but TJ to me is different. Respectfully, like But go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
More athletic, explosive JJ Watt is what he is.
Oh my God, he's like.
And I think he taught the rookie Joe Alt a few things a few times. I think.
Yeah, they were. That's the problem. This game will humble you, and it's not anything that Alt did. But when you start seeing all these posts and the Chargers are saying Control Alt Delete because we got the best tackle, it's like, can you just let him play? Because it's going to come back around. It always does. It came back to me. Every time you feel like you're feeling yourself, and then you get humbled that next week. So just let it play. Let these guys grow and learn and progress. And let at the end of the season, let's see how they do. And then you can critique and put a grade on it. But, Pittsburgh, I don't know if we can really take them serious because of the quarterback play. But, man, I love Coach Tomlin and their identity. They know who they are. They're going to run the football. I just think eventually their offense will catch up to them until otherwise. But maybe Fields – you can't ever let Wilson step on the field right now. Like, you might as well just let him go.
It's funny you say that. Let me ask you this. I brought it up earlier with Smitty. Would you trade for Russell Wilson if you're the Miami Dolphins right now?
If I'm Miami, I'd probably try to get Wilson or Bryce Young before that.
Yeah, me too.
Or but you're only going to make that move if Tua's done, and you know it.
I don't think you can go 6 more weeks though with the backup Skylar Thompson or whoever his name is.
Yeah, he's out too. It looked like he got some ribs.
Yeah, he got hurt.
I don't know. I'm not. I think Wilson is not very good anymore. So I'm not trading him.
But I would take the big arm of Wilson with those wideouts.
Yeah, but he's so bad. He can't move. Oh, we might as well figure something else out. I don't know. And then everything that he comes with, that comes with Russell Wilson. I'm just
what comes with him? What comes with him?
Just a lot of not football is what a bunch of hogwash at times, which. For me, I'd rather just be about the core guys and the guys you've been with the last 6 months and those type of, or a guy that is not going to bring such drama. I'm not a drama type guy or a player, and I'd rather not deal with it.
All right, let's get into brass tacks here.
Brass tacks.
The Rams. Can we talk about good quarterback play? When you talk about quarterbacks,
there was both good quarterback play in that game. Purdy played his tail off.
Yeah, Don't good quarterbacks by definition though make bad or average or unknown wideouts good and ability to get paid like 5th and 6th round guys that Aaron Rodgers has thrown 500 touchdowns to in his career and got guys paid, even the Scantlings of the world and the Justin what's his name
look at
Watson,
Jennings yesterday.
The Watsons, look at Jennings, look at the guys he's had. One of Smitty's counterparts at Fox who loves Aaron Rodgers. The guys that Aaron has made is unbelievable to me. Matthew Stafford, James Jones. Matthew Stafford did the same thing yesterday with some guys that, Tutu Atwells of the world, who's a shifty guy, but we're putting him on the outside and having to go one-on-one because we don't have any outside guys. He made Nakua a Pro Bowler last year as a rookie. He has 2 of the all-time greatest stat lines ever with Megatron in Detroit and Cooper Kupp in L.A. He makes guys. He did it again yesterday. He ends up topping 250 yards on a late 50-yard play to Tutu Atwell to get him down there to win the game. But I thought he played unbelievable. It started off a little slow, but he was still doing his thing. He threw an outcut route that could have been picked by most Accords. Any other quarterback throws that. He threw a dot that just nobody else in the league can throw, but maybe Aaron Rodgers. And then to your point, I thought Purdy played well in the first half with no Debo. With no Kittle, with no CMC, but again, it proves me that Brandon Ayuk's overrated. But what do I know? And what do you take away from that game and the Rams getting a big one, because that was a big one, down 10 and coming back to win that game was huge, wasn't it? At home when the Niners are engulfed in the crowd. I hate that shit. LA, man, we got Niner fans everywhere.
That saved their season. I text Shaun after the game, and I bring up like texting Shaun, like not to like bring light to our
play for him.
I bring it up because he's just such a good friend and he's a real one. And I said, man, that is a gritty, tough performance, and that saved your season. And the first thing he said back was, "I love you," and then the next thing is, "It's all about our players. I love our players." And that's why you play hard for guys like that. Like he knows it, he gets it. And the game plan, I thought you had to run the football, you had to try to control the clock. You couldn't drop back 50 times against the Niners. Stafford wouldn't have made it out of that game. So that's why those numbers were a little low. But talk about the clutch throws, the timing. Hitting that 3rd step, 5th step, and throwing that goal ball to get down there for the tying touchdown to Tutu. And it's just like, you see those intricacies of offense and just good high-level play of a guy elevating his team to have a chance to win is you don't see it very often. And on the flip side, Purdy, I mean, running around, making plays for his team, not turning the ball over the other side of the fumble, which he couldn't, that was a great rush by B. Young. And it was a good back and forth. And the drop by that one receiver, I mean, the Niners had 6 drops on the day. I mean, Purdy went 22 of 30, I think, with 6 drops.
Yeah, is that his name? Bell or something? I don't know.
Yeah, Bell. It's pretty insane to think about.
Bell. Yeah.
And then, Jennings, I mean, golly, the amount of catches he was having, throwing the coverage, and just coming down with the ball. It was just a good football game that you want to watch on a Sunday afternoon. So it saved their season. I think going 0-3, I don't think you come back from that. Hopefully they can build off it and make some. They just got to get healthy and hopefully be 500 if by the time they get their guys back.
Hey, E-Dub, speaking of 0-3, the Bengals play tonight. They have to avoid it. They're in a very similar situation. Those two teams matched up in the Super Bowl a few years ago. T. Higgins is back tonight, so he'll have his arsenal at wideout at least. I think losing Mixon still killed them in the run game and a dynamic there. But did the Bengals get out to Schneid tonight?
Yeah, I think they do. Washington's not very good. Redskins and the Bengals should have won last week, so they're better than 0-2. They'll figure it out. Remember, they're notorious slow starters. They always start out 1-3, 2-4, 0-2, and then they'll get it rolling like they usually do. And that's the expectation because they always usually do it. Until you got to believe that.
How many god dang saves are we going to give the Chiefs? I mean, how often are we going to save the Chiefs? Why are we going to save the Chiefs? Why do we?
The NFL wants them. How is this not PI? How in the world is that not PI?
Because the last week when it was PI in favor of Chiefs, which it was, they got their call immediately. It was but when it's flipped,
it isn't because it's the Chiefs, and time again. They are always on the right side of these calls, and it's.
Well, I'm so glad that you're sick because, your opinion to me, it matters the most. You are a former player who recently retired, so for you to say that, I know I'm not because I thought maybe I was tripping, maybe I'm being a hater because I don't like the Chiefs. But it seems like every time there's a moment, a call, something, it just goes in the favor of the Chiefs. Like you talk about luck,
every time.
It's crazy, JB.
Listen, hey Smitty. E-Dub now is on that, wears that coaching hat, and I wore it too. And the first thing we tell the players, don't let the refs beat you. Stop complaining. Right. Can't use that as an excuse. The Falcons still had ample opportunity to win that game. That was the worst offensive calls, the worst offensive play calling in the end of a game that I've seen in a long time. Again, no creativity. I don't understand what they're doing. They got Bijan Robinson, who was clearly more athletic than anybody on the other side of the ball. He was eating. I don't know what they're doing on offense down there on the 11-yard line, and those are the calls you make. And then on fourth down there earlier in the series to get another first down to possibly take the lead down 22-17, they run basically old school high school buck sweep. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they don't get ahead on the mic. The Chiefs run into
on the flip side though, I think the Algier effed it up because he's supposed to go to the mic, and if he does, it's a touchdown. So is it really a bad call?
Yeah,
or is it a player is not executing?
I don't know, E-Dub. I watched the play and I break it down. Chiefs,
it has to be. Everyone's got a hat on a hat. Why double?
But the Chiefs the Chiefs jumped into a bear. So everybody was
doesn't matter when they all stretch and reach the play. There was one mic in an unblocked line, a run back. Like
in a bare front,
he's hit him. It's out the gate. He doubled up to the tight. It just again. Sometimes it's coaching, and in that situation, I felt the players didn't execute because if you make that block, or the week before when Philly goes for it on fourth down and the guy's wide open, he drops it. Is that coaching?
Right.
No, I mean, that's a great call. The player didn't execute. So at the end of the day, so be it. I don't know. I watched
it takes all 22. Takes all 22.
I mean, I think he was supposed to lead up on the mic. That's his ID. And if he does, it's a touchdown. There's no one else there.
Yeah. Smitty, we got to end it with E-dubs. Normal Monday. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell yeah,
Hell
yes.
yeah, or hell no. Bought to you by Winnable Prospects and Bet Online. Let's get it started, man. Hell
and
yeah,
Skybox,
or hell no.
and Venice, and Skybox, and 5 Hour Energy.
Right.
All right, let's go, Smitty.
Hell yeah or hell no. And you kind of already answered this one, but we'll start here anyway. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders will shock the world and win for the Joe Burrow Bengals.
Nope. Sorry, buddy.
JB?
LSU.
Hell no. The Bengals start off 0-3. They're done.
Yeah. Hell no. Hell no. All
This
right. Hell
game,
yeah or hell no.
Hey, losing this game to this team would bury you. It's not about 0-3.
Yes.
It's just a mental loss.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the game, the opponent. I get all that. And I got you. Hell yeah or hell no. The hit on Eagles wide out, Devontae Smith was a dirty hit.
No. Hell no. Go ahead, CW.
Hell no for me.
Yeah, everyone commenting on this saying it's dirty, it has never played because they teach you the first thing they teach you is a D-line. When the ball's thrown, break the stack and run to the football. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not my fault that he's held up and the whistle's not blown.
He's still running.
I'm trying to go tackle the guy or hurt someone. Like, that's football. I'm sorry, Devontae, but right here, like, get down or
strap up your helmet. How about you strap up your other side of your helmet, too?
You got a guy that's 330 pounds running the football. I would say that's an awesome play by the D lineman.
Hey,
we're coached different. Helmet. We're taught different because we played.
Helmet up. And
go hit regular football, man.
Hit the weights. Hit the weights and strap your helmet up.
That D tackle been busting his ass all day, going against another 300-something plus pound O-lineman, trying to just get a few opportunities to get one hit. Yeah. You see that? He's taking that.
Now he's going to get labeled dirty from all these people that don't have a clue, and that's not fair to that guy. He's doing what he's coached to do and running the football and being a great teammate and passion and playing physical. Like, that's a teach tape, if you're asking me.
100%.
Now, it's unfortunate he got hurt. I don't want to see that, but
that's football.
It's football.
It is what it is. And speaking of hurt, hell yeah or hell no, the Miami Dolphins will miss the playoffs.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Without Tua,
here's my only thing. I say hell yeah, but I also think the Ravens are in that boat and the Browns are already in that boat, and the Bengals are flirting with it. I think the AFC is not what we thought. We thought the North, Smitty, you and I said, Smitty, we thought the North was going to be 4 teams out the North possibly making the playoffs. Now I can see 1.
I still think the North.
Keep
watching this. Keep watching this, JB.
Long season.
The Bengals gonna win tonight in a blowout fashion. And like to Weddle's point, the Bengals are not like they're 0-2, but they're not really like they're better than their record. Same thing with the Ravens. The Ravens can be undefeated right now. If you watch the other games, they're just not finishing games. So let's keep watching this thing go.
Ravens are gonna get on a roll.
Yeah, I see it.
The defense played good, and the fourth quarter. They'll be fine.
They got to learn how to finish. It's something weird with them. They got to learn to finish. But yeah, they'll be fine. They got Lamar Jackson too, so they'll be good. Hell yeah or hell no. Shedeur Sanders is a top 3 college football QB.
Top 3 college football quarterback right now?
Yes.
Top 3.
I'd probably say.
Think about it. Take your time.
I mean, numbers-wise, he is. Number-wise, he is. I mean, what are we talking about?
Or just answer how you don't just answer it how you would answer it. Like, you ain't got to do all that diving. JB's trying to find a way out. Just answer how you want to.
Talent-wise, opportunity and numbers are going to say he is because he has the opportunities throwing the football as much as he does.
Would you have 3 other quarterbacks start for your team? That's basically what you're asking.
In college. Thank you. Why are you trying to act all difficult?
And Matt does have a good point. You put him on Georgia with, I don't think they have better receivers and maybe the O-line. Like, I don't know, but they have a super talented team on offense. So when he says those things, it's like, what could he want at Georgia? They don't have better receivers than what he has right now. So
yeah, I know.
When he says those
better line though, for sure, I would say better O-line, more more protection.
I think it's a system. I don't think he would perform the same at Georgia because he wouldn't.
I would pick 3 other quarterbacks than him. That's not saying he's not a really good quarterback. I would pick 3 others. Now, who are they? I would probably take Beck. I would probably take Cam Ward, and
I don't know.
Jackson Dart, Quinn Ewers.
Yeah,
I
would take Dart over Shador.
Nico.
But not many. Like, I'm not going many more after that. So if you say top 5, I would say probably, yeah, he would be a top 5. But top 3, I would say no.
Yeah, I look at it as transitioning. Right now, I think Nico's transitioning wise, skill set wise, is transitioning right now the best to go to the NFL. He's got long arm, big arm, strong arm. He's strong in the pocket. I could see him in 2 years being a number one.
But he's coming from an RPO. Like, very rarely does he ever get a drop. Very rarely is he under center. So it's
and they haven't played nobody yet.
Yeah,
Oklahoma's a nobody.
He would have, even though the talent is there in the arm, you could tell the difference between him and most of these other guys. It's not even a question when you see the ball come off.
Yeah,
I mean, he ripped that 30-yard in cut.
Oh, ripped it.
Just
NFL.
Pivoted. He didn't even step into it. It was
like
wild.
It's like fucking boom, and it's just on a line.
So far the hype has been real. I know before the season, I know he's all that money out. Everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Like he hasn't even taken a snap yet, or whatever the case was.
Shador is better than Gabriel. Yes, I would say that. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah, I put Shador ahead of Gabriel. I put Shador ahead of Dylan Gabriel.
I think Gabriel hasn't been very good this year.
Nah,
I haven't really watched much.
Like Shador would be in my top 5, no doubt. I don't know if 3 though. Yeah.
All right, there it is. That's fair. All right, last one, guys. Hell yeah or hell no? The Saints will win a playoff game this season.
Hell no.
Uh-oh.
And I know E-Dub and Derek Carr are boys, and I love Derek Carr as a charher and a human. I just think
Derek has played. I know yesterday.
As a character, is he made a character?
I just think he's inconsistent.
Derek Carr's been good this year, bro. Come on, JB, give him his flowers.
But again, you saw yesterday what happens later in the season.
Football, though. It's football.
He gets inconsistent. He's inconsistent, is all I say.
Every week ain't gonna be the same, JB.
I just think his inconsistency will cost them a loss. Like his inconsistency is why I say hell nah later in the year in the playoffs. I just don't.
Hey, Weddle got that look in his eye. Hold on, no, JB. Look at his face. Look at his waist. Look at his face.
Hey, remember, the Seahawks are better. The Rams will get better once they get healthy. They'll make a push late. The Niners are going to be there. The Eagles will probably be there. The Lions will probably be there. And then the Cowboys, what are they?
So the Packers with Jordan Love come back next week.
And now we got an upstart Minnesota team that no one's talking about. I don't know how the Saints and then the Bucks are still 2-1, even though they got dominated by the Broncos, which I picked yesterday. I still think the Bucks will be there. So is it going to be the Bucks Saints, Falcons Saints? Who's going to get out of the South? I don't know. I'm going to say no.
Hell no, to be exact.
Hell no.
I can see them if they win the division, then they host a playoff game. Playoff game in New Orleans is really hard. So if they sneak, I don't think they make.
What you saying, Weddle?
Hell yeah!
Hey! He looked up and the gods told him. You stick.
Hell yeah!
He looked up.
They've been. I mean, the defense has been good. The offense first 2 weeks they've blown out. Listen, at the end of the game, Carr made that drive to put him up, and that corner around the end zone is picturesque. And Olave, oh my gosh, talk about a tough catch. So they should have. I mean, they got the ball back under a minute, and they went down and scored. So off a broken 3 guys running into each other. So they could easily be 3-0 right now, which with a much different opinion on them. So,
hey, E-Dub, we're out of here. But listen, any word from your connections with the Chargers, another franchise, you are a legend there, on Herbert's status? Do you think it's Liz Frank? We'll have Dr. Jesse Morse on tomorrow. He thinks it's just a kind of a reoccurring injury. He doesn't believe it's Liz Frank. I know we mentioned Liz Frank. My buddy was at the game. He thought it was Liz Frank. Where you at with what injury and how is he?
Yeah, I thought originally it was in that area back in like whenever it first started, in camp. And that's when I first thought you don't sit out for 3 weeks if it's not something major or potentially major. So they mask it, and that is an injury that will end your season. Like a little break on the outside or a fracture, like I don't see how
something like that hold you out for 3 weeks in camp, if it's not potentially a Liz Frank, that is something that you had to be wary of. So I only bring that up because of the way he was walking. It looked like a middle of a foot type injury, the way he was looking. I haven't talked to anybody over there, so I have no clue, but hopefully not, because that'll end their season, and we don't want to see that.
No. And they also said like he had like an ankle situation coming into the game on top of that too. So I mean, who knows? I don't know.
He was running around just fine.
Hopefully he's all right.
Before he started hobbling around. So yeah, let's hope for the best with that, because I love what Harbaugh's doing and just ground and pound and great defense. So we want the quarterbacks to play.
No doubt. E-Dub, I know you got a bye week. Beat the hell out of bye. I used to win bye week. It's not as easy as people think, by the way. Winning bye week is a huge thing in football.
Got to get better.
Shout out to you. We'll see you next week. Good luck. Enjoy the weekend. Maybe we'll hook up. Hey, Saturday, if you're not doing nothing, I might be on my boat.
Get on the boat? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yacht time? Okay.
Meet me in Newport. I'll get you off the strip, and we'll go out. There's a little yacht party I was invited to.
Ooh, yacht party. See what I'm talking about.
Spinning out loud, but you can. Let's go.
I know where the boat is at. I can go get the boat right now. I'm actually closer to the boat than you are.
You don't have keys. You don't know. You don't even have to get on it. You don't like water. Stop. Let's get into it.
Good show. Great show, boys.
All right, buddy. Peace.
Hey, they said don't make sure it's not a Diddy party though.
No baby oil, Weddle. No baby oil.
He doesn't say something. Get out of here. I knew he was going to say something. Get out of here. Take that. You say it perfect.
JB, I need you to go down to your boat, man, and dry your boat all the way out to San Diego. Pick up Weddle, grab some new baby oil because we ran out here in LA. They got all the baby oil they got in San Diego, or the Walmarts. Bring it back here to LA and bring it to my house. You can do that in the next 30 minutes, or we can have a little problem. You're going to have to see me in the back room. Take that.
Hey, man, great show, though, man. JB, both of our squads handled the business this weekend. Last week, both our teams
we did a much better team, though. Yeah.
This week, both our teams won.
We did a better much team, though.
We sacked your favorite quarterback, Caleb Williams, so many times. We picked him off 2 times.
God,
we gave him hell.
Him and AR5 look horrible.
AR5 made the plays he needed to make to win the game.
Let me ask you something.
Don't ask me anything, please.
Since Travis Kelce's done the Vax commercial and Taylor Swift, he has been fucking horrible. Is anyone going to bring it up? Travis Kelce is horrible.
Actually, not true. He showed up in the playoffs last year in the Super Bowl when it counted. But I'll say this though. Somebody said this earlier. Somebody said Mahomes was overrated. And it's funny they said that. I'm not gonna hop on.
Alan said it. JUCO Frenzy. Alan said it.
Shout out to Alan. So as we close, it's funny he said that because yesterday I was watching the game, and I'm not gonna say he's overrated because at the end of the day he accomplished what he has accomplished. But I know he gets a lot of we compare him to the GOAT. We compare him to Tom Brady, and I remember what it felt like watching Tom Brady, and it don't feel like that watching Mahomes. I'm gonna say it like that. It don't look that way. It don't look that way. It don't feel that way. And since Mahomes' actual MVP year, he's been good. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't been the same. It ain't that MVP year. He was phenomenal. Like
listen,
it has not been the same.
He's won 3 Super Bowls. I mean, if we're gonna, it is what it is. He wins Super Bowls. I mean, that's it. But I'm just telling you, I'm gonna give you a take. We'll have to break it down tomorrow in the studio. But
yeah.
His arm looks dead to me. His arm is not the Mahomes arm that he had that was live and just fucking whipping it. His arm, he looked struggle to throw a dig cut yesterday. And I'm like, I'm talking to Alan on text last night watching it. And Alan's like, man, he does not look the same. I've been saying it for years, but I'm the Chiefs Queendom hater, but I'm telling you, dog, but if he wins another Super Bowl, I mean, you can't say nothing.
Yeah, if you win, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it don't look like when we're comparing him to the greatest of all time. He just don't feel or look the same.
He never beat the GOAT. How are you going to beat the GOAT? You never beat a GOAT. I mean, let's just be honest. He's going to end his career by never beating the guy that won 7 Super Bowl. He's not going to win 7. Sorry. So it is what it is. But,
but hold on. If they win this year, though, that's 3 in a row. First time it's ever happened. That'd be 4 total. And he's what? He's 28 years old. He's not even 30 yet. First time post AFL merger. But yeah. Well, yeah, that's all we care about. We're not talking about stuff before that. So first time in real NFL's ever happened. He'll be at 4. Is it 4? It'll be 4 rings, right? If he wins this year.
And been to 5 or been to 6, 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. But
hey, we'll see. This team.
What about that tomorrow though, JB?
Hey, they're 3-0 though.
Just win, baby. Just win. That's all that matters.
Andy Reid.
Shout out to our fans.
Andy Reid, greatest coach in football, carrying Patrick Mahomes like this. Hey,
shout out to our fans for winning.
Shout out to everybody, man. We've been 17 minutes over. Y'all can go over to McAfee now. I'm letting you. And we got
tomorrow's show. We're gonna be 17 minutes earlier just to make up for the difference.
No, we'll never do that. But we'll be live in studio tomorrow. I'll get up at 3 in the morning, drive over there, set up the ticker in the studio because that's what I do. I do all the shit. And Smitty will just show up right when it gets there. Bailey does all the work. Smitty just gets there and gets the fucking benefit from all the work that we do. Bailey and I, 2 white people that do.
I'm do what I'm paid to do, JB. Bailey does what he's paid to do.
Fair.
And you do what you paid to do.
Fair.
Is that fair?
No. You have to act like you're getting paid big money when you're not getting paid big money, so you can get big money. I dropped the board. I dropped the board, Mike, whatever you want to call it. I dropped that shit on that. In the show, Bailey. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass a rap.